Team, let's get to the action. There's a lot to take a look into. Earnings out there. Stocks are still higher. Are we going to keep ripping higher today? Well, it certainly seems like it. I wouldn't say anything other than that. I'm just following the trend. Let's ride it. Let's see if the Bulls can take it higher. Do we get to 420 today? Smash the like. Let's get it started.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Those words have been dancing around my head all night. Oh, it's Vegas lore, that phrase.
All right, team, let's get to the action. I will let you guys know it looks like I am by myself today. So it's going to be a little different action, but I will try to do my best to cover as many stocks as possible. Probably take some trades in between that. But what's the catalyst to go higher? There isn't need for a catalyst right now, okay, chat? That's the truth, is that the catalyst is just stocks are ripping. And that's what we've been getting into. And some can say it's euphoria. Some can say it's logical. Some can say it's illogical. But really the truth is that they keep going higher. And with that being mentioned, I talked about how the 9 EMA has really come below the price action. And with that, we're going to continue to watch. As long as that can stay above the 9 EMA, we're looking good. Look how we got that pullback on Monday, where we went down towards 408.10. 9 EMA of 407.64. Then the next day, 407.57. 9 EMA at 409.15. Seems like we come close to it, but we don't close below it, right? That's what we need to keep a watch on. If we close below that, that's when we could probably get the turnaround. But where's that turnaround to? I think as long as it can hold 400, you're still looking good. We need to keep watch on the stocks, the strong ones like Tesla, continuing higher today, up there now towards 208. We'll look to see if this can continue going higher, or will we finally get the washout on Tesla? Of course, yesterday we called this higher through the 200, and it did the move. Now, let's see if it can continue higher, get through the next levels. Next level on the daily that I think you got to kind of be looking for is up here towards the 224, the 226. We could be ripping up there even just today. We'll see what happens on levels like that. If we can go ahead and rip up there to those levels, that could be up there to 234. And I actually pulled this down closer toward these highs here. The high here of 229.82. So we'll see what happens there. 229.82. Let's get that. All right, I'll just put it at 230s for right now. I can edit it in a little bit. We'll see what happens there in Tesla, but there is some stocks making moves, right? Disney having their earnings this morning. We'll see what happens there. Disney slashed about 7,000 jobs. In the long run, I don't see this as a bullish report for Disney, but hey, to each his own, right? You can see how it popped up on it. The earnings report wasn't that great. They only just cut jobs to make things look better in my eyes. But I mean, they're cutting content spending. That helped them. It's just savings on costs. But where's the growth going to come from? That's my question here. Disney is getting a little bit of a pop. We'll look to see if it can continue going higher. With that one, just keep watch on Netflix, right? Will Netflix get to 400? Almost to 400 already. This has been an incredible year, at least to start for Netflix. We'll look to see if that can keep pushing a little bit higher. Affirm had some earnings, right? That's lower. Disaster stock on the day. Not going to be shorting Affirm by any means. This could actually bounce back here towards 15 and right back towards yesterday's close. We'll see what happened there. Not going to push too much in these. All right, let's keep going. What other stocks had earnings today? Hood had earnings. We'll see what happens there. Can that get a little bit higher? Will it go to 1150? I say you watch Hood today. Honestly, I don't love the name. But at the end of the day, right now, it doesn't matter if you love the name or not. That will show you right here. Nice little pullback on the hourly level towards around the 1077 level. I think this could get through that 1150 even here out the gates. So keep watch. We'll look to see if Hood goes a little bit higher. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to set an alert there for around the 1133s to alert me. Also could set an alert here down towards 1075 if we get that red to green move in Hood. We'll see what happens. Yesterday, Uber, remember towards when I got out yesterday, I got in this one towards 35.06, was looking for a move to 36. It's already back up there towards 37. We'll look to see if it gets through the high of that opening action, 37.58 today, as Uber came right back towards the upside. All right, now let's take some stocks from you guys. And of course, we can look at the pre-market movers. I can go for cheaper stocks also. You guys throw up stocks that you guys are looking at. I'm going to start taking stocks from you guys. And then, like always, you guys can let me know. David asking a good question. How are the jobless claims? I got you. That's what it's all about, right? Well, jobless claims came in at 196,000 versus 190,000 estimate. So finally going in the right direction. We finally went higher. We got a hot jobs report for the jobless claims. Now, can we get this number to keep going higher, right? Can we get 200,000, 500,000 initial jobless claims showing up? And that would be an actual bullish move, right? That would be showing that the labor market is finally breaking. Right now is not the time. I don't see the labor market breaking yet. And even though we keep seeing all these layoffs, jobs are still being found out there. And until they break that back, market's going to stay strong, at least for right now. We'll see what happens there. Let's keep going for stocks in the chat. I'll grab some stocks from you guys. PayPal is one that I see right off the hop. I don't have ES, Raj, so unfortunately, I won't be able to give you the futures outlook. I don't have the chart. I would just look at the SPY. PayPal right here on the pullback, right? Giving you an opportunity off this kind of prior resistance, starting to act as support around the 80s. This does not look bad if we're going to have a risk off type of day, a risk on type of day, right? If we get the growth stocks to make the move up, well, look for PayPal to kind of make that move back there. It can come back towards 85. I definitely see that in play. Don't want to see it break back down through that 80. If it cuts through the 80, you got to be careful. We're looking for really a nice little push here towards around 83, and then you could get a pullback towards around 82.50s. We'll see what happens there. If it can continue higher into the 85s, you can also watch Square, right? Similar charts. Will this get back there towards like the 83 mark and then pull back? We'll see what happens. Square and PayPal, very similar charts. All right, let's keep going. We'll see what else is being called out in the chat. I do see G-Sun mentioned out there. Let's go to that one. I haven't taken a look at that. If you guys got some cheaper names, please call them out, because you guys know I'm not the biggest. It's not that I'm not the biggest fan. I just don't look at these often anymore. I don't even scan for them. So if you guys see some of these smaller plays, please let me know today. Don't have Ryan that normally covers these. We'll see what happens if we can get back above 3 on G-Sun. Golden Sun Education Group needs to get back through that 3 spot if it really wants to spike up there towards $3.50 and $4. All right. Good morning, Sabrina, and good morning, everyone out in the chat. It's good to have you guys. The Sound Life, right? Let's take a look at the Sound Life. Did that get the uplift yesterday? Yes, it did get the uplift yesterday, especially towards the end of the day from 2 to like 4. It did a nice little run. Let's go to the daily chart. It's been pushing higher and higher, but they're not big moves, right? This is, I mean, it's a big move relative. It's about 30%. It's about $1.10. I honestly think that you got to be careful with a stock like this, because yeah, it's going higher, going to keep squeezing, but it could always turn around really fast. AI, right? AI has been trying to push back there towards that 28. Will it push into the 30s, or will this AI trade start falling off? I know yesterday Microsoft started getting a little bit weak. That's what you want to keep your eyes on for. If Microsoft can continue going higher off this AI, well, then, yeah, you can keep seeing that AI push. But if Microsoft starts to reverse and starts coming back down, let's say towards the 250, you got to be careful in those momentum names. They can turn around in a hurry. All right, let's go to some of these other ones. PBTS, don't know this one, but I'll take a look. Power Bridge Technologies, not much there, man. Not much there. I'm sorry, Brandon. Too cheap for me. GMBL, Gamble Entertainment. Yeah, another one. Too cheap for me. I would stay away from this. If you wanted to look at some gambling stocks, I would look at like BKNG, but that's already been super strong, right? Will this start to turn around? This looks to me a little bit like toppy. Of course, Super Bowl coming, so maybe it gets the lift a little bit higher, goes to the 19, but I do see DraftKings slowing down soon. I've talked about keeping an eye on Penn to see if that one's going to actually reverse out of the monthly trend. That's a move above 40. and I still think it can make it, but I want to wait for that move to 40 versus jumping in too early. All right, let me keep going. I'll take some more stocks out there. Travis bringing in a Unity. Can't blame you on Unity, Travis. I am keeping an eye on it. This morning, literally, on my pre-market prep sheet, I had, why is Unity up big? Travis, I can't find this particular reason. The only thing that I can see is that the chart itself is telling us that it wants to go higher. Let's see what happens here. Will it continue to lift? It pulled back towards that 3650s. Now I'm looking for a move towards 43. 43 would get us past that Thursday high, 41.83, and back there towards this line over here to the left, where you can start getting into that gap zone and pushing back towards the 50. This one doesn't look bad. One thing that I would say about Unity is look at the weekly chart. Look how sideways it's been. Is this the time that it gets the motor going? Watch the ARKK for those growth names. We'll see if that can continue higher, right? If growth names can continue higher, well, then you start seeing that Unity push higher also. Snow is another one I'd put on the radar, right? Look at this pullback. Went there towards 178.70, pulling back here, caught around the 160s, trying to come back towards 170. I'd watch Snow with Pan W to see if that could get the lift. If Pan W gives you that push towards 170, 180s, well, get ready. Cybersecurity coming back. Doesn't look too bad. We'll see what happens on like a CrowdStrike if that can get the lift also. All right, we'll see what happens on these growth names if they can continue pushing. See some other ones being mentioned. I'm trying to catch up to them. We'll see. 9:30 is hitting right now. Time for me to focus on some trades. If you guys got something to call out, let's go ahead. We'll do it. You product enhancement. Thank you, K-Chat. Let's do this. It's go time, team. I got me a little bit of green machine this morning. A little smoothie action. Ran out of the orange juice. Not a good time to run out of the orange juice. All right, let's keep pushing. Let's see what else is going on. All right, starting to get a little bit of lift. Looking to get some traders on today, so stick around, team. I'll definitely make sure that we get some traders on a little bit later. We'll see what happens there. All right, SPY starting on the day. Just pretty much sideways here. I'm going to take a look at like Tesla. Tesla down here to begin the day. I'm not going to jump to the gun too early, right? We'll see what happens on the day. Consumer cyclical leading, basic materials leading, technology leading here. Energy down to begin with. One that I'm watching today is Halliburton. Want to see if this can recover 40s, right? I've talked about that 40 price point for a while now. I'll take a look to see if we can get back above, especially the 39.60s. If it pulls back, it pulls back. I'm not going to battle that. I wanted to start pushing towards that 40. If it can push there, I'll go ahead and I'll take a look there. I'm going to go ahead and set an alert above the 60 mark. We'll do 65, 39.65 to let me know if it gets back above that. All right, let's go ahead. We'll see what else is going on. Sell Tesla, J-Dub. We'll see. All right, let's keep going, team. Today's one of those days where I might even set on the squawk for a little bit. Might give you guys a little bit of squawk action so that we can keep up with the stock action. Got a lot going on here, so I'll definitely go ahead and put up my other screen so that you guys can follow Benzinga Pro, of course. Let me just open my OBS studio right quick, get that rolling. You guys smash the like. Any big movers, call it out in the chat. Let's help each other out today and see what we can find. All right, let me just change this display here. There we go. Boom, starting that virtual camera. Let's do next camera, extra camera. Boom, boom. All right, there, guys. I'm going to do my best to go ahead and also have a scanner for us today, right? I want to make sure that we're getting that action. I'll do the 5-minute right now on gainers. And I'm not even going to, I'll look for some of those smaller names right now. I'm definitely going to try to keep myself above $5, but I'll try to catch those for you guys. BLBD getting a little bit of a lift today. Bluebird, BLBD. Take a look at that one. That one's already pushing higher here. It got up there towards 19, pulling back there. Bluebird Technology, Bluebird Corporation. Ooh, nice little lift there. We could look for some pullback towards 1678, but this is already pushing here. We'll look to see if we get that pullback to 1678. That's going to be a VWAP pullback here. We'll look to see if we get that pullback. Just one thing, though, to keep in mind, very, very low volume on this name. So that's one thing that I always try to warn traders about. This one has very low volume. It doesn't look bad, though, for that VWAP pullback. The spread is wide, though, about 60 cents for a name like this. That's something you really want to see often. C-Tech, Global Clean Tech ETF. So that means solar names. Let's take a look at solar names right now. That's pulling back there. Will First Solar rip up? I'll keep an eye out on that. If you guys see any big stocks moving, let me know. Right now, I'm just trying to catch the moves, not really trying to trade too much out the open. It hasn't been helping me. What's been helping me is trading later in the day. So we'll find out what happened. Monic Power, MPWR showing up here at the more expensive stock, but nice little lift to begin the day. All right, taking a look at what else is being mentioned out there. I'll take this initial jobless claims off. I'll keep an eye out on any stocks that are making big moves. You guys let me know in the chat. We'll keep moving here. IQ with a nice little pop up there. That's not a bad looking one. Let's take a look there on the daily. Daily has a nice little push above towards the 8, open for it. Could pull back to the 750s here. Doesn't look too bad if it pulls back to the VWAP. I'm going to look for a 740 entry on here on the pullback for it to come back towards the $8 today. Still hasn't pulled back right now. We'll see if we get that pullback. Needs to come back towards this kind of 46, 45 area on IQ. This one doesn't look too bad. I might take a shot on this one. We'll see what happens. All right, I still got that UNG trade team. Just want to keep that one in perspective. We'll get stopped out on UNG if it cuts through 8. I have an average towards 850 on UNG, but if it cuts through 8, I'm out of here. All right, there's so much going on, team. Got to keep pushing here. Let's go. All right, getting everything up here. Also taking a look at what's been doing really good from the price trend of the market, right? So I have to the upside CTLT. That one's up really higher. We'll look to see what happens on that one. Meta trying to get back into the green today. We'll look to see if this gets in the red today. This actually looks to me like a short opportunity, but I've been trying not to run in front of the train that is Meta. Just doesn't actually look that bad for me. I'm trying to make some more trades for you guys today. What's the hesitation there, team? Sorry about that. I wanted to get in there, but I wanted to see what the VWAP was for my risk. I wasn't able to determine the risk really quickly there. So if it can pull back to VWAP, I like it, but it already came to that level, and look at that. That's a little tough, team. That's just a little bit slow to the trade there. Would have liked to have short, let's say around the 85.50s. Risk would have been around the 85.80s there. Looking for the takedown there in Meta. We'll see what happens there. Airbnb not doing too bad here. Just looking through stocks right now. Baidu getting down there. Let's look for the Baba short. That doesn't look too bad there. JD going down. PDD going down. So Baba short doesn't look bad at all. It's already down there towards the 108s. Could crack down a little bit further. Let's go to Tesla. Tesla looks like it's trying to reject off the VWAP. We'll look to see if it keeps going higher. SPY right now has just been kind of dropping a little bit. Let's see how Microsoft is doing. It's a little bit into the red there. Not the biggest move up. AI straight down. That looks to me like a nice little short on AI. If this comes back to 27, I'm going to try to get short on AI. We'll see what happens on there. It definitely is starting to break down. And that one I've talked about short earlier this week at 28. So that's why I'm still looking at that 27 short. We'll look to see if it comes back to that level. Microsoft falling. There you go. You guys got to help me today. Keep putting up those stocks. I got you guys. I'll definitely try to cover them. But remember, I'm by myself today, so I'm going to do my best to keep things rolling, keep the conversation going. And for that being mentioned, we need some tunes today. Let's get some tunes. What kind of tunes you guys like here? What kind of tunes we want to see? Let's see. Who likes the 80s? Who wants some 80s tunes in the back? We need to keep it simple, but I'm feeling the 80s today. Let's put a little 80 action here in the background. All right, let's keep going. AI starting to get a little bit of a bounce back, looking for some shorts out there, looking to try to jump on some of these trades. SPY coming down here. Soxass getting a little bit of lift here. We'll look to see if some tech turns around. But really, I mean, from the open, we're still into the green with a lot of these sectors. So I still see the upside action out there. Consumer cyclical, not doing bad right now. So look for that maybe to get a little bit of a bounce. Remember, UA got hit hard yesterday. Really got hit hard. Is that bouncing back? No, still taking a hit there. All right, let's keep going. Let's get some tunes up in here. Actually, I'll keep it simple right now. That's not simple. Come on. That's not fun. Going back to the classic. All right, guys. You guys let me know in the chat if that gets too loud. I'm trying to do so many things at once. You guys know I got you guys, though. All right, Baba getting a little bit of a bounce here. Back above the VWAP. This looks good for me on a short side trade here. I'm going to try to let it go to that 108.75. And if it comes back through that 108.50, that's where I'm going to start getting short on it. How is PDD doing? Yeah, it's down there. Could come back, though. How Baba does that little move towards that 108.75. That's why I didn't want to get short until it rejected that move, came back below the 108.50s. It's actually getting quite a bounce right there. Could push through that 109. If it pushes through that 109, forget about it. It looks more like a long. Trying to push through. There you go. It's looking like it's going to get through. We'll see what happens on that one. Let's go to Halliburton. I did want to keep an eye out on the energy names. Not doing too great right now. XOM trying to find a dip right there. SLB starting to come back. That's what gets me at least interested in that Halliburton. We'll look to see if it comes back here, back above the 39s. Let me take a look at this. Yeah, it needs to come back up. All right, looking around. What else is going on? I see 90s hip hop. Ooh, some tunes. We got to get the tunes. 80s rocking. Don't worry, I'm going to bring some in here. We'll have some fun with some tunes coming up. Hendrix is in the house. That's for sure. What happened at the close? Is it on another stream, David Scott? Yes, you will find it on Pre-Market Prep's channel. Of course, Pre-Market Prep is its own company with Joel Elconin and Dennis Dick, right? Well, you guys can catch that at the close. It's going to be the close in print now, and it'll be on Pre-Market Prep's channel. We will be having a swing trading session today, team, from 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. Brand new swing show brought to you by none other than Money Mitch. Don't miss that, team. I'm going to be taking more swing trades, and a lot of that will be on that show from 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. Looking at the setups towards the close, we'll see how we start doing. I haven't taken many swing trades, especially really close to that 4 p.m. I'm going to start trying that a little bit more. You guys come and check it out. 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. today, swing trading action. All right, tech is dumping hard. We'll take a look there. What time Central Standard? So that would be just 2 p.m. Central. 1 hour back from that 3 p.m. Eastern. All right, let's get that chart back up. Let's take a look at Disney. How's Disney doing? It's pulling back fast there. Looks like we're having a little bit of that bearish tune, at least to start the day. Will we get a 945 pullback to the upside? Tesla like kind of hanging on here, not doing much right now. We'll take a look at Microsoft. Is that red still? Yes, still in the red there. Apple still pulling back there. We'll see what happens on that name to see if it starts coming down. Meta looked like a short earlier for me, and oh man, it would have been a nice one. Still coming down there, and it just gave you a little bit of a pop back above the VWAP. Sorry about missing that, team. It's just one of those days where I just have so much going on. I'm going to be probably missing some trades here. Definitely Meta looks good. It's cracked down. It just did this kind of spike back, trap some traders. We'll see what happens now if it keeps cracking towards the 184. UNG starting come back up from those 830s. I could still get one more buy in UNG. I'm just not sure if I want to do it right now. We'll see what happens on the day. Solar names. Let's go to those. FSLR. Was keeping an eye out and see if it was going to go into the green today. If it does go into the green, I could see EMPH coming back. For solar, still staying strong right now. All right, let's go to certain sectors and industries. SPY starting to find a little bottoming around the 943 time. We'll look to see if it gets back above 414. Coin got whacked. Ooh, it did get whacked. What about Hood? Hood's coming back, team. This one doesn't look too bad to me. On the pullback, it did pull back to a level that we could get it around the 1075s. Would have to risk around the 1050 area, but we'll look to see if this starts ripping back up through 11. Doesn't look too bad, at least for the trade right now. Let me set up here on this day trade action here. See if we get a pullback towards around the 1060s. How's our SPY overall? Let's go to the 3 charts now to try to keep an eye out on this. SPY trying to bottom out around the 945. Going to see if Tesla can push back to the highs. There's Hood towards 1079. Going to look at a pullback towards like 1068s here to get in, but it's already going back there. We'll look to see if it gets through 11. That's what I was looking for. A little pullback around the 1075, push back through 11. We're up there towards 1085. I'm going to leave it alone right now. If we get a pullback, I'll look to get in it, but a little bit slow today on my execution speed. I'm seeing some trades, but trying to explain them a little bit much. All right, Sonos, big fan. I know their earnings were pretty decent there on Sonos, so let's go take a look there. Sono, pull back towards the 20, right? Has 1, 2. Let's let it go one more time towards that 20 breakdown. And if it can recover that 20 breakdown, come back up through the VWAP, I'll take a look at Sono. So that's a move back down towards this, right? Trying to break down and then coming back through towards the 2050 rip. We'll see what happens there. SPY just kind of dragging right now, not doing much. It's just kind of slow move down. We'll look to see if we get the 945 reversal to the upside here. Ooh, Meta back up there. All right, that looks interesting for me. Gotta be careful with the market, right? Market's pushing higher. Market's reversing here off the 945. Let's see if it can get to VWAP. Rejection on Meta above the 186.20s there. Kind of like those levels. If it can reject one more time to get above that 186 level, I could get short on it, but it's going to give it the chance to break above that. See what happens on this candle, if it closes below the 186 or not. Just rejecting it right now. Just keeping an eye on it. Sono is trying to get back above that VWAP. Keeping an eye out on what's going on out there, team. You guys keep bringing those up. IQ hit the levels. Ooh, IQ does look good there, team. Especially that 48. I missed that pullback there. Look to see if I can get 52 here on IQ. See if I can get 52 here. Layering a little bit to try to get some of this IQ. I'll let you guys know if I do get it. There's Meta coming up and rejecting that move. Oof, that looks good there for Meta. Have my hand on the trigger to short Meta here. If it can come back below the 86. All right, just got short a little bit there. Going to hold off the 186.40s, team. Got to be real quick on this. Ooh, did I not get the fill? Oh, there it is. All right, so just got to be really quickly off 186.40s here. If it does get above that, I'll stop out on it. I tried to get some IQ there. No fills on IQ, team. I put it out there at 752. No fill there, so I'm probably going to miss that IQ move here. And it did do a really nice pullback to the level around 47, 46 where we were looking at. It went right to that 46. So not going to get that. Probably going to get stopped out of, yeah, it just got stopped out of the meta there. Quick little stop out. It was a very small risk there, but I wanted to see if we were just going to get the wash down through. It didn't, and it came to the high there. Could have tried to do it to 186.50s, but I wanted the quick trade there. Also was looking at IQ to get in there, so I didn't want to go too big. So it's not too bad. Small little loss there, and it could have just stopped me out, right? Couple wicks, tricks to the upside. We'll see what happens on the overall market if we can come right back down. It's a really, really tiny loss. I just want to put it in perspective. I gave myself a really tiny risk there. It was only about 31 cents and very small sizing. IQ still looking good there. We'll look to see if that takes off. Wasn't able to get those fills. I'm going to cancel the orders now because it's just sitting in there, sitting in the book. So let me just cancel all these orders. IQ now to 58s. We'll look to see if it gets through the 60s and then back to 770s. That looks good for a move maybe to the $8 today. You can see that getting up there to 790s, $8. Doesn't look bad at all. Uber is going down. Let me take a look. SPY trying to recover. Uber's actually going up. It's pushing. All right, let's see what else is going on. Charge point, can it be growth? Affirm going down? Yeah, Affirm. I'm still going to always kick myself, team. I still remember when I got short this stock at 38, got stopped out at 40. It's going to kick myself for a little while there. All right, there's IQ. Now let's see if it gets through the 760s and starts getting that spike. SPY back above the VWAPs. Let's start looking for those reversals to the upside. All right, let's go towards the sectors and let's take a look here. Try to find what's strong right now. Consumer cyclical pushing higher there. Restaurants, footwear, accessories getting a nice little lift today. Restaurants, home improvement stores, things like that. Gambling, auto manufacturers, even department stores, right? Getting the lift there. We'll see what happens there. The high beta names getting the lift again. That means that the tech names, the growth names are starting to do well. We talked about Unity earlier today. Missed that trade, team. VWAP pullback there towards the 40. What a nice move if you guys were able to catch that Unity. Just today, I'm a little bit all over the place trying to catch you guys some trades. At the same time, trying to take some of mine. It's going to happen, especially when I'm by myself. Unity, nice little uplift there move. I also was looking at Snow right before. Well, look how Snow is starting to take off. This doesn't look bad at all for the nice little push back up. We'll look to see if it gets towards 170 today. And I'm missing some moves today. And it's just going to happen, especially when I'm trying to look at all these trades at the same time. Team trying to go a little bit higher there for you guys. ARKK names starting to look interesting here for the lift. Shop, will it reverse back up? Square, we talked about it. PayPal. PayPal starting to push. Square looks good there. We'll look to see if it reverses back above the VWAP. Pan W. Talked about this one. Will this one make a nice little lift? This one doesn't look too bad for it to go through the 170. That will also give us that look that Snow can get through there. We'll see if it keeps pushing. SPY now to 414.31s. Did bottom out around the 945. Look at this time, team. We was talking about a 945 reversal. Look how it bottomed out right there, right after that 945. Now back up there. We'll see what happens. IQ, team. Not a bad outlook there. That would have been a nice winner there on the pullback towards the 746 level. That's the level that we were looking for. Boom, right back up there to 765. Hope somebody was able to nail that IQ. All right, time to keep going. Keep it going, team. SoFi, let's take a look. SoFi doesn't look too bad right now. Let's go to the hourly chart. Hourly chart doesn't look bad above, let's say, 745. So you got about a 720 bottoming action here, and you want to see it get through that 745, 750 with some big volume as it push higher. We'll see what happens if it can make that lift. All right, looking around for other stocks that are making moves. Let's go for it. PayPal pulling back here. Opportunity if you guys want to buy the dip in PayPal. ARKK pulling back. That's also an opportunity, right? Roblox pulling back there. Unity still a little bit higher. CRM has been pushing strong there. Talked about if CRM can keep going, Adobe could keep going. We'll see if Adobe can keep pushing higher through that 390 into the 400. Been watching this one for a while. No triple BY. No triple BY. Unless it's really ripping through the moon, I ain't even going to go and look at it. SQ, we'll see if it gets lower. Adobe, we'll see if it gets higher. Microsoft was in the red, now starting to get back into the VWAP. We'll look to see if it gets above that. Does it reject this move? AI coming lower, team. Never came back to that 27. That does not look like it's a strong stock today in my eyes. And if AI is not strong, be careful with those other players, the smaller players like Sound. That's why I didn't like the chart, and I think it could reverse at any time and come down. Be careful on those. Shop lower. That's not a good outlook there. Amazon trying to catch the bounce right now. UNG coming a little lower. Look at that. Meta right back down. I missed it by what? Where did we get stopped out there, right? 48? By about 8 cents, team. We would have been short on a nice topping action there on Meta. And that's how it happens sometimes, team. Meta going lower. Can start looking at the SOX S reversal to the upside. See some tech break down a little bit. If I wanted to day trade that doesn't look too bad there. NVIDIA, will that come lower? Keep your eyes out there, team. SPY coming right back down towards those lows. Will we start seeing that breakdown there? Doesn't look like we're getting that buy the dip mentality. Let's start taking a look at maybe some of the stocks that got beat up this morning. How's Win doing right now? Win just getting a little bit of a bounce there. Duke, Pepsi, trying to recover a little bit. Kellogg's, what's up with the Kellogg's? Got a nice little pop pulling back. Growth names or value names going to get a little bit of a bounce today. Keeping an eye on it. Ralph Lauren. Didn't have bad earnings. Staying in the green right now. Running through some names here. Let's go to the SPY here and see what's up on the day. Big up. Let's see. On Semiconductor having a decent day there. So if you're looking at a stock that's really strong right now, On Semiconductor continuing higher. Ralph Lauren, Autodesk pushing higher. Wind pushing higher. Caesars pushing higher. MGM pushing higher. So definitely casinos having a decent day there. GM pushing higher. Tesla reversed from that bottom action. Yeah, it reversed. It's right back up there to the 208.25s. IQ pulled back. So we'll look to see if it gets that next step up. Lay down, Hendricks. All right, EMPH down. Mara called out in the chat. I'll take a look at that Mara life. Mara is actually down right now. That's interesting. If the market goes down, though, Bitcoin has a tendency of going down. Another bottoming action around the same price point. Let's see if the SPY wants to go a little higher. Apple getting a hit. No triple BY. No. No. Don't tell me. We'll look to see if it gets up there. Really, it only matters if it gets like $3.50 today. $3 is not giving it much. Baba, earlier we wanted to kind of get shorted. It went up there through that 108. Now it's coming back down. Doesn't look too bad off this 109 area. I'm actually going to take a little bit short there. Just got a little bit there. Willing to add a little bit towards the 109. Want to hold off this kind of 109.13 area. So I got 108, 68s right now. Short a little BABA. See what happens in like PDD. You see how that's going lower? I see JD going lower, Baidu going lower. That's why I'm short more on BABA. Want to add to this position, but want to get it to the VWAP. If it just fades from here, let it fade. IQ pulling back there. There's 108.50s down for BABA, looking good there for me. Let's see if the SPY comes through that low. Qs overall, how's that doing? Are the buy the dippers in the firm? They tried. They tried to buy that dip out the gates. Let's see if it gets washed down. All right, there's some down action there in the firm. Let's go to Microsoft. Is that hanging in there or is it going to fade off the VWAP? That's what I'm taking a look at. Amazon coming back towards the 101. That looks like support right now. If it can come back up through 101.75s, you can take a look at like a shot to reverse. But Q's right now fighting. We'll see what happens on the SPY. Yeah, bouncing off that VWAP. It is right now. Disney breaking down. Yeah, Disney. I mean, the earnings report wasn't the best for Disney. I don't think it was great. But, hey, you cut jobs right now, and they love you. All right, BABA working here. Now down towards 108.38s. See if we can get this a little lower there. Bring the music down a little bit here. No, that song was a little loud. All right, bit unclear what the market wants today, right? Yeah, it feels like it. Can I really get this whack in BABA through the 108s? If I can get that whack through in BABA through the 108s, that would be a nice profit to take. Then I can just let it keep trying to work down. This market has been better to just kind of take that first range move, right? Now looking for the continuation. We'll see what happens in Disney. Disney looking like it wants to get lower there. SPY looking like it wants to go lower, but it could VWAP, get back to the VWAP, give you those wicks, that reversal action. Look how the wicks there. So much tricks on the downside, right? A lot of fake outs to the downside in this market. Tesla, what's up with Tesla? Now towards 209. Looking like it wants to push a little bit higher on the day. All right, looking around to see what other stocks are making moves. Trying to catch some of these smaller names, see if any of these are still making moves up. Let's go to the 15-minute. Actually, let's do the first 30 minutes. All right, trying to take a look at some of these bigger names, see if there's anything that's showing up there. Not much. Let's go to the sectors and see what we see there. Main charts, let's go there. We're going to take a look here. Consumer cyclical leading, technology behind that. All looking like they're pulling back right now, trying to catch VWAP bounces. So we'll see what happens there. Utilities pulling back down. Defensives looking like they're pulling back right now. Industrials, bigger pullback there. Financial services, not as strong as yesterday. Basic materials starting to go in the red. Energy into the red today. And communication services. There's IQ back up there towards 762. We'll look to see if it gets to 8 today. It's still holding that 750 pretty well. Doesn't look too bad there on IQ. We'll look to see if it gets higher. SPY recovering there. Got to be careful there now in my trade as we've seen the SPY recover. Just seems like it doesn't want to break down right now. And Tesla going a little bit higher. That could push some stocks higher. Got to be careful. All right, going to give it a chance to get above this 109 and then look for the rejection back below the VWAP. All right, let's see what happens today. Not trying to push too much on the day trading life today because I'm going to do some swing trading later in the day. So definitely keeping an eye out on some trades to see what can happen there. Baba's trying to push here a little bit above that 109. So keeping an eye on it to see if it's going to come right back down below. There's that rejection there. I'm going to look for it to come back towards that 108.90s, 108.80s. Then I can hammer it there off of that same high. Tesla, will it pull back? SPY coming right back down to the lows there. That's the type of market we're in right now. And at least it seems like. It's just the choppiness is massive right now. There's a lot of support around the 413.25 area. All right, like that look now on Baba. So I got my ad there. We'll see if it comes crashing down through that 109.20s to the upside. Anything towards that will get us out there. So now we're looking for the breakdown there. The SPY needs to break down, though, if that's the only way that trade's going to probably work through. If it keeps just bouncing off of here, we can start looking for some longs to come back to the upside. When stocks do this, a lot of the times Apple's the one that comes back really strong, right? And so if we're going to come back, that's an opportunity there to keep an eye out for. So you can see here bottoming around 153 on Apple and make a move back towards 153.50 and 154. We'll look to see if we get that move or not. Could just be fake out to the downside for the first hour and a half, hour of the market. And then all of a sudden we get a rip back up. So that's why you got to keep it simple right now. I feel like, you can't do too much. A lot of choppy action. Another chop fest. Don't you know it, Humble? Love the music, Russ. There you go. Just trying to keep things a little bit, in between. Some filler. Google, new low of day. That's interesting to note. Let's go to that. Yeah, Google, man. Google's getting pounded. This is what happens when you do the bad AI, I guess. You get pounded on. Man, that's what's probably keeping us down right now. Look how Apple's right back up there. That's a little worrisome with the SPY. But Google definitely taking a big hit today. Looking around here. What else are we going to get? Come on, Baba. Go lower. Let's go, Baba. Apple coming back there. That's a little worrisome. SPY coming back. Lots of wicks at the bottom. Could be buying pressure there as it starts to come back. There you guys see Apple trying to make the move. It went to 153.50. We'll see if it starts pushing up higher. Amazon's another one to watch, right? It's right around the VWAP. We'll look to see if that pushes right back up and gets through that 101.50. All right, trying to keep things short. Where's the volume? I got you. Vibe out, team. 414.25 SPY short, says Raj. We'll see. Hasn't gone through that level yet. There's Baba down there. You need Baba to go through that 108.40, start coming towards that 108 so I can take some profits. Jamming out today. Let's go. All right, just want to put it on everybody's radar that it is Girl Scout cookie season. So if you had yourself a diet, you might as well get rid of it. Girl Scout cookie season, team. Get your shortbreads, get those chocolate chip caramels. You know it. Support your local Girl Scout cookies. Tesla to make a break again. It's SPY recovering, team. It's trying. Tesla pushing higher. That red to green right out the open. A lot of people are thinking Tesla's going to reverse. There's the push there. We could be pushing higher, team. We could be pushing higher. Going to keep it real simple to the 109 here on Baba. Don't want to see it get really back above that. SPY right back to the VWAP. Could start pushing higher. You could start seeing some recovery. That Apple, look for maybe that Apple to keep pushing. We'll look to see if it get a little higher or not. How's the hood? It went up to 11 and turned right back around. Oof, that's a frustrating one. Carvana, not much there. AI back down there. Hit the VWAP today, but faded off. Google, see if Google can come back to VWAP. SPY back down. There you go. That looks good there. Come on. All right, keeping an eye out what's going on. Let's go to the scanner life. Let's take a look here, see what's making moves on the intraday. Let's go to gainers and losers here, see what we're seeing. Of course, this is brought to you by Benzinga Pro Scanner like. If you guys want to check this out, go ahead and go to probenzinga.com. Affirm a little lower on the day, continuing down there. Doesn't look bueno on Affirm. We'll see what happens there. That's continuing down there. AI continuing down, right? We've talked about that one multiple times. Coin, BBAI, not looking good there. See if we start getting the lift. App showing up there for me. Let's take a look at app. Ooh, it's coming down there. Trying to reverse, but can't do it right now. How's Uber on? Uber's continuing higher. Not bad there. AbbVie money, I got you. AbbVie a little bit higher. Looks like some healthcare. Getting a nice little pushback. Drug manufacturers. Who was trying to get AbbVie before their earnings and got stopped out? Wah. Here. Yeah, you guys know it. We were trying to get AbbVie when we were down here in the 145, trying to get the push towards 146. We eventually did it like a day or two later. I tried to do this on Monday. Just didn't work out for me. Now look where the stock is, right? Wouldn't have been a bad gain. We'll see what happens on that one. AbbVie a little bit higher and could keep pushing. It's one of those days. It got a little bit slow, a little bit dull here, but it could pick up in a second. Baba, I've been working towards breakout. Let's go towards it. Or BA. Boeing. Well, look at that. That doesn't look bad at all. There's Baba pushing on me. Could squeeze me out here. SPY just still playing games with people today. One thing I do see, though, that you can't really hold above VWAP today, the SPY. So a lot of the times what happens, right? People are buying or selling off of that middle line, that yellow line here. We'll look to see if it comes lower, but if it breaks that, it could come right back down. That's what's keeping me in BABA right now. Overall market still wants to come down right now. At least it's what it's showing right now. We'll look to see if it actually breaks or not. Qs are a little bit stronger. That's why you're probably seeing BABA up a little bit higher. Right now, this is going to be very important. If the stocks push here higher, we'll probably get a nice little squeeze up higher. If they come back down, we'll get the cut down. This is going to be an important levels here. We'll see what happens. All right, setting up to see what happens here, and we'll react. Play some stick figure. Ooh, we're going into that tunes yet? We'll get to those tunes. You know it, team. Let's keep battling. After 10:30, I'll get to some more different music there. Ooh, that's an interesting one, Sabrina. For cost basis, yeah, getting rid of bags makes me question that. First in, first out. Yeah, I know that mentality has changed up a lot of things. I think with long-term investments, you got to tell yourself, what's your idea with these bags? If you do got them already, is your idea, ooh, got stopped out there in BABA. Little push there. I expect a little push probably coming in the market here. We'll see if we get that lift there and start pushing higher. Interesting day. I mean, they definitely could have made some money on that meta earlier. I mean, look at this move. It's how it is sometimes, team. For right now, I've been missing execution by pennies, and a lot of that is the pressures of being here and just trying to hold it down for you guys. But like always, we want to make improvements, right? So we'll see what happens, right? And that's why I try to stay really small in my day trading here. There's a lot of noise that I have to deal with in my trades. So I try my best not to go big on them early. But that meta trade would have been a really nice trade, right? That would have got us a nice little like 1.5% trade there. And meta's still weak. We'll see if that comes back. But the SPY is coming back. I have a feeling you get a nice little push now. We'll see what happens on those stocks. Like Amazon looks like an interesting one here to go a little bit higher, right? We'll look to see if that holds now 101 on pullbacks. Snow, we talked about that one early on in the day. That one's doing well, right? Red to green move there. I would look for Pan W to get the lift now. That doesn't look too bad to come back up towards the 170 level. Unity continuing higher. Another VWAP bounce there. Missed on Unity. Wasn't watching it. I hope somebody's been able to kill Unity today. That was one stock we talked about pre-market that I definitely liked. Just didn't keep the chart up. Live Ventures getting a nice little lift right now. Look at that one, team. We'll see about that. MSGM. What's up with that stock? I haven't seen that one in a while. Carvana. SPY faking out a little bit more here. Just seems like it's a choppy chop, eating traders' money up type of day. So I'm trying to keep things slow now. Tesla is strong. All right, uranium tickers. Market's always hungry for the money. That's for sure. SPY's has been trappy today. Looked like it wanted to come down. Had a really nice day yesterday, so I just want to bounce back a little bit. Uber did that for me yesterday. That got me a really nice win. So there's Amazon trying to come back down here. The SPY is just choppy today, man. Even gives you that nice little setup off the forward 1325s, and now look how it's going to it. Looks like it wants a breakdown, if anything, now. That's the hard part about it right now, especially if you're trading to the bear side right now. It's a lot of fake outs. See how Amazon does here, and the Qs. Qs look like they're trying to push there. As Nvidia is actually pretty strong. AMD is pretty strong. That just shows me more and more. Well, Apple push up towards 154 here. Doesn't look too bad. That's what happens. They fake you out a lot of the times on like a Goldman Sachs, and now it's higher than the earnings. That's just how it goes. How'd that IQ end up? Still battling IQ. Not a bad looking chart there in IQ. Really not bad at all. Kind of like it here. Still could get in this one. All right. Well, we got the rule of three into play here. Let's see if we can get it here. Come on, give me a slight tick down. Where's the volume in this name? That's the only thing. That's what's keeping it from ripping. Decline in volume there on IQ. Want that increase in volume through the 760s. You do got that nice three bottoming action around the 750s. So you could get a little dip through into here. It's like 53 and then a push. But it doesn't look bad, that IQ. I know someone mentioned it earlier today. Whoever that was, not a bad looking stock. Yeah, Nvidia is definitely getting towards the point where we're starting to get to that overbought area. So to keep the SPY up to see if we get that takedown or not. Seems like such a trap right now. Look how Amazon's trying to recover too here on the left. It's crazy. Just a lot of chop in between here. Let's see that daily. Let me go to here. Nvidia. Daily. Ooh, yeah, it is getting to that oversold area. I'd let it pop back into the 80s. See if it gets back in there and then rejects. But yeah, it's definitely getting extended. But this could keep going. This could get there maybe to even the 230s, 240s. I do think it eventually turns around, but how long will that take? Right now has not been the time to fight it. Look at the SPY back up there. That's just how simple it is right now. It just kind of does these little tricks and tricks and tricks. A lot of buy the dippers out there, team. Win going a little higher. Amazon now holding on to that 101 level. See if the SPY can take another leg higher. Tesla pushing strong, 213s. That BLBD that we talked about earlier today, I know it was low volume, but it did do the VWAP bounce right around the 17s and kept higher to the 19s. Lucy. Low volume for sure on that Lucy, but doesn't look too bad. Got through that 3. Let's see if it gets to 4 today. Pulse Biosciences. Looking around, see what's making moves here, team. All right, Unity still making the moves. Unity still pushing. Pan W now up there to 168. Doesn't look too bad. Zscaler pushing off that 142 level. SPY overall just sideways right now. Not doing much. It's not giving us the up move. It's not giving us the down move. It's just kind of just playing around. Just trapping people right now. Sound, high of day. That's interesting. That got the squeeze back. Definitely sound. Nice little squeeze there. Are the AI traders moving on to sound? They get a nice little push there towards 486. See if he gets to the 5 spot. There's 490s. 494. Will AI get spiked now? We'll see. Triple BY. Not doing much there. GME a little pop there. Not much. Unity still looking good there. ARKK still just battling a little bit. SPY still battling. Team still hasn't given us that breakout. If anything, it keeps doing these fake outs to the downside. Little part of me feels like going short on Amazon now. That's just how this market is. It's just back and forth. I feel like getting short. I feel like getting long. I feel like getting short. I feel like getting long. That just goes to show us that we're not really getting the move, getting a bunch of fake outs. Disney gave up more than half the move. That could be a buy the dip eventually. Yesterday, Uber was. Disney continuing down 114. That earnings report was not good, but right now, earnings reports don't matter. Just looking around to see if there's anything getting into the green or anything. Not seeing much. Seeing technology start taking a downturn here. Take a shot here. Pull back on Success. All right, I'll take a little entry there on Success. Willing to add on pullbacks to 75 right now. Just getting a starter. See if it starts pushing. QQQ could be another way I can play it. I'll look for pullbacks towards 34s on SQQQ. Needs to pull back there. Towards around 34. Remember, the SPY can just rip back up, so just be careful, team. It did crack through that 413, but look how quickly it recovers also. This is how this market is. BABA starting to come back down here. Could still look at that one, but not going to push too hard on that one. Already lost a good amount on BABA today. It's that type of market where it's just gotten to the point where it's just trapping both sides right now, and then we'll look to see if it actually makes a move or not. Looks like Carvana getting weak this week. Yeah, definitely. Sound for the win. All right, there's a little push there. Success. Can we actually get the breakdown? UNG pulling back a little bit. NVIDIA pulled back from the highs there. Q's now starting to break down a little bit there. That makes me feel better about Success. Willing to add on any pullbacks now. Just let this run. Nice little push there, 1905s. Gonna let this run a little bit, team. Try to make a little bit of a bigger profit move here. We'll see if we get that lift. Come on, give me a nice little breakout there. Highs come back there towards 1950s, and we'll take some profits. This market is such a reversal style market, though. It could still reverse from here. I don't even trust it on this down move. AbbVie staying strong. Yeah, that's staying strong there. Tesla pulling back now. Amazon go to lows. There it goes. Tesla's starting to turn around, Les Ram. Be careful. And no all caps, please. No all caps. Don't want to have to hit people on mutes. Am I out of the bear camp long term or just short term? Well, I've talked about my level, really. For me to flip, it needs to be the SPY over 420s. But we're still in this bullish environment right now. Short term, middle, and long term. Long term, right now, at least for like the yearly outlook, still bearish. Middle term, that's looking into kind of more of the quarterly outlook. I still think we could push. Short term, I still think we could push. All right, team, I'm going to take a quick second and I'll be back. Just pretty much getting some water, team. I'll be back. All right, team, I'm here. Johnny, do you ever explore small cap squeeze candidates? Yes, we normally do. We normally have other traders also that look at these stocks often. But right now, we don't have all our traders on right now. We normally have 2 more traders on with me. So I'm not looking at too many of the small caps. I'm trying to catch it, right? All right, looking out. Any other calls you guys got? Definitely throw them up. Meta 180, that daily level. Oh, man, that Meta short earlier today. I got too picky with this little spike. Man, that would have been a nice one from 186. Now down to 181 as this daily gap that I wanted to get into for the short. This is kind of more of that swing opportunity where I like swings better than the day trade. Swings, I think I would have been able to hold off the 196 area versus being so tight on the pennies. And that probably would have been a better approach here with this type of move for the down gap fill on Meta. Johnny, this music puts you to sleep. This music puts me in the zone. But hey, to each his own, right? Some people don't like the chill vibes. I enjoy the chill vibes. I think the market gives me enough craziness. But hey, to each his own, right? Tesla. Pull back. Still not going back up, Les. We'll see. SPY trying to find some buy the dippers down at the 412s. We'll look to see if they find them. Let's go to the 3 charts here. Nvidia staying strong. Ooh, turned around from the high there. Look to see if it comes right back up through that. Look at IQ, team, in the middle. Finally getting that IQ move. It went down, tried to stop some people out through that 750, put a wick there. Now it's starting to go. It's trying to push higher in the 760s here. We'll see what happens there. IQ looks like it wants to get through that 760 today. For you smaller traders, you guys wanted to talk about the smaller cap ones. That IQ move looks nice. I want to see if Nvidia is going to come back to highs. It's an important stock to kind of keep an eye out on right now. If it just comes back to the 15-minute high right back up there, got to be careful. Lately, SPY doesn't go for the full gap. There's still a lot left to go. We'll see what happens there. NVIDIA falling cross below the 9 EMA, bouncing off the 15, says Bruce. Enough high emotion on the charts. Yeah, the emotions come from the charts already. I don't think we need the rocket music with it. Look how quickly the market comes back, too. No moves want to follow right now. Even if you get the breaks, just doesn't follow through. Algorithms, they're winning, man. The freaking AIs. All right, trying to get that kind of VWAP bounce style here if it's going to come back up there. But look how the SPY just quickly recovers too. You got to be careful there. Qs could recover immediately here through the 307s. We'll see if that happens. I want to see if it rejects 307. I could add here on the Stocks S trade, but don't want to push too much today. Not getting continuations. There's no reason for me to push that much. I want to save some mental capital for later today for some swing trading action at 3 p.m. 3 p.m. Eastern to 4 p.m. Eastern. We will be doing a little bit of swing trading action. I want you guys to catch that. Yeah, you guys heard it. Swing trading action. Check it out today, 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. Has anyone checked on the Fed speakers are running around this week? I mean, they don't spread FUD, man. And I mean, if that's what you think they do, I mean, then maybe that stream isn't for you, Johnny. But they're not setting. They're if anything, Powell supported the market this week. If anything, have you checked on the party? The party gave out, man. The party's done. Lithium having a good day, says Sabrina. Not bad stocks to keep in mind, right? Let's go to those. LAC, man. Nice little push back. I'm still upset that I don't have this from 21. You guys remember I got stopped out on this stock on the day that the stock market, the New York Stock Exchange, had those errors in the open, and that spooked me out of LAC's swing trade at 21. This has been a monster since then. It's been doing really well. PLL is another one that I would look at. If you like that one, I could see that one breaking through 70. And Hendrix, no, buddy. Not the time. Not the time. Come on. All right. Let's keep it going, team. Smash the like button if you guys are enjoying the action today. And like I always say, sorry about not having Zunaid or Ryan with me today. Normally they're with me, team, but they're taking a little vacation time, it seems like, and I can't blame them. I don't get much vacation. They don't get much vacation. I hope they're enjoying it. Fed will move the market with their words, but their first move talking down the markets. Well, the big thing is that they talked up the markets for so long, right? I think that's one thing that people forget often is that they did talk up the markets for a long time, right? When the pandemic was going on, they supported this market. They got this market back up. We should have never been in a bull market during the pandemic, but the Fed caused that, right? And there's nothing wrong with that. We got to be able to support them when they're supportive and also support them when they're being restrictive. I think this is where people get it twisted. They supported them when they were kind of providing liquidity, and now they're angry at them for taking liquidity away from the markets. Well, just understand how a lot of the times that works. If you get that liquidity, you're going to have to pull it at some point. Something to keep in mind. All right, that 79 seems to be kind of holding in here. We can start like risking right off of the right below that level. I'm going to look to the 75s as the risk here. And I could add to the name if I want to. If I start seeing that takedown in NVIDIA coming right back below the VWAP, but right now it's kind of holding that. So that's what's keeping me not just jumping into that. SPY could still come back. We're not seeing it back above that 413.25 area that we saw earlier being kind of the support. We'll look to see if it does get back above that. If it does get right back above that, well, there you go. Buy the dippers, come back right back in. That was QE. And now we're doing what? QT, right? I think that's an important thing to keep in mind, right? So QT, QE. They play extremes. It's definitely important to catch. Let me get Hendricks out of here. Give me 1 second, team. All right, let's get back here. Get into the action. You have now entered the Lo-Fi Lounge. Actually, I'm going to turn things up. It's 10:39. Let me make sure that I don't have monetization on so that we can have some fun. You guys, smash the like for me taking off the money that we make even from the streams. Come on. That's how much we support you guys. Let's go. Smash it up. All right, time to get into some new tunes here. Bring you guys the vibes, right? Let's do this. Oh, I have a little. Let's go to my playlist, right? Why not? A little playlist action. I'm getting there, team. All right, overall market trying to reject that 413 move back up. If we can get back above on success, back above 1885s here, I'll take an ad. All right, we'll see what happens there. Taking a look at what else is going on. All right, let's get the vibes going here. And I'll share this, guys, with you guys. I can share it with us. So don't be afraid. All right, we're going to change up the tunes in just 1 second here. Just wanted to give you guys the opportunity to listen in on this, right? You guys can get the Money Mitch Ease the Mind Vibe playlist. Unlisted out there, only for you live traders out there. I'll throw it up in the chat right now. You guys can check out my playlist a little later. Jam it how you want to. I'm going to bring in something that I always feel like starts the mood, and then we'll get more to that reggae vibe. Oh, yes. You guys are here. A little bit of Mazgo, FKJ, Tad Low, the vibes. We're here to support you, team out there. There's too many trading streams out there that don't support each other. That's what we're here for, team. Looks like I got my ad there on success. We'll look to see if the SPY takes another leg down. That's what I'll be looking for. Got that ad there. Now looking for the VWAP to start holding here, especially off that 1875. Push back through that 19. Can we get the lift, team? Can we get it? We'll see. AI plays breaking their lows. NVIDIA back below that VWAP. What I wanted to see. 412s, 96. All right, you want to do the 413? I got you. But just do the 413. We'll leave it there. Yes, yes, you see it. Taking monetization off. Not trying to make money off you guys here. Trying to what? Grow the community, team. So smash the like button. Hit the subscribe if you're not already. All right, wanted to start holding the VWAP. It's testing that 80s right now. Be careful, team. You couldn't get a scoop back up on the spot. Remember, this market is very, very hard to break the mentality. The mentality is the buy the dip mentality, and I can't blame them. They've been winning. How's Tesla? Now pulling back. Could have got the VWAP bounce. We'll look to see if that happens. All right, let's keep it going, team. Smash the like button. Google Meta bringing Amazon red. Sonos is slow, but it's green. Good to point out. I saw that one earlier pulling back. When you throwing in the towel? 420, Martin. 420. Who doesn't throw in the towel on 420? Haha. Let's go, team. All right, there's a little push here towards the 19s on Sox S. We're not looking too bad, team. Just needed to push higher, start pushing back towards the opening price on Sox S. Opening price is 19.15. We'll look to see if we get through there. Nvidia lower through the 227. We'll look to see if that happens. Taking a look to see if the SPY goes lower and the Qs go lower. That's what we'll be looking at. Jay, if you think this is elevator music, please let me know the elevators that you go on, Jay, because I would just sit there and do a stream. These are the vibes, the music. Get it right, especially Mazigo. Oh, so good there. All right, let's get the tunes. Keep them rolling here. Let's go. All right, and wouldn't you know it, team? We're still battling the chop land. That's what I should call this stream. The chop land. All right, I got you, Alrod. No stress. Let's take a look there. You want to see SMCI? Let's take a look. All right, we'll see what happens. Looks like we're starting to come back a little bit there, team. NVIDIA are trying to recover here. So get ready. It seems like we could just squeeze right back up. Just want to put that out there. I know I'm short on the success game, but to tell you the truth, that hasn't been working out lately. If anything, reversals after breaking the charts have been working, where the stocks look horrible and all of a sudden we recover. A lot of that, I think, is because the retail traders are leaving and institutionals are putting in algos to buy after the retail traders come in. We could all of a sudden start getting this squeeze back up. So just be careful out there, team. Just keep everything on the risk to reward game. That's what it's about. If I lose here, I'll be strike three on my day trading side, but that's okay because I've had great days in the last couple of days. It's okay. Strike three though, and you're out in my book. So let the music take control. All right, we tried to get back there above on the SPY towards 413s. Forgot who wrote the 412.90 area, but it seemed like it held it really well. Let me go back, see who it was. Raj, there you go, 412.96. Not too bad. 412.92s. We'll see what happens there if it gets back through that level. Will Tesla VWAP bounce? Or will it just hold here? Interesting. Microsoft trying to come back a little bit. Amazon came down towards that 127. Didn't continue down though, so could reverse. We'll see what happens. AMD, coming down now. We'll look to see if it pushes back. Nvidia is still hanging in there. It might get me to stop out there. It's okay. We'll see. I'll let you guys know if I do get hit. I need some Dutch Bros. Somebody bring me some Dutch Bros. Slow day for a jobs report being released? Yeah, definitely slow day. Glad you guys enjoy the tunes. AAL? Look at that push on NVIDIA. Probably gonna get stopped out. I can see it already coming. Could run to the out there, but I have it set right now. It'll get me out if I need to. This market's tough, team. You get these breakdowns, and they're just like, it's almost like the algorithms cued in to reverse the patterns that we know. This is something I'm starting to see because really, this is a nice bearish pattern. A lot of the times, what do on a pattern like this? You measure the base of the triangle, right? Which is about $2.21. And you're looking for that type of breakdown on this side. Look how you can't even get to the $2 spot. That just shows me something. I think these algorithms are just tricking a lot. And that's tough. Tough to get through, right? I just got stopped out on that wick through on success. It could have just wicked me out, stop hunted there. It's okay. It is what it is. Strike three for me. And get ready, because look how NVIDIA is coming back. And you very easily could just get these tech names to start pushing right back up there. So look for even maybe AI to bottom out here. We'll see what happens. Does that get the level? Tesla didn't even pull back there towards the VWAP. Still holding here. Now looks like it could take that 214 on the upside. And that's just how this market is. Even though you start to see breakdowns, I think the algos are getting trained here to break it, right? And the trend is your friend, but the thing here though is the intraday charts are showing breakdowns. The longer term trend line is holding. The kind of 1 minute, 5 minute, 15-minute patterns are still pointing down to the downside. And then you're getting these little quick dip throughs and rips back up. So you got to be careful there. AI back in action? Very much could be. Same as everybody's getting down. And it's all good, team. One of the things that I think a lot of people stress about is red days, right? The key is that they're not outnumbering your green days, right? You're going to get red days. The key here and always on red days is managing the losses, right? It's okay to have losses. That's what's going to happen in trading. What's not okay is taking big size losses and destroying your probability. Stay in the probability, team. That's what matters most. And for me, that's a 3-to-1 outlook or a 4-to-1 outlook on trades. That's what I look for. I'm looking to make 3 times or 4 times my money for every dollar I risk. Keep the vibes rolling here. Let's go. I've never seen patterns like this on the cues. Yeah, because it's very trappy. Very trappy, right? I mean, just look at it on a 5-minute. Very trappy action. It looks bearish, but then you get these quick moves back up. That's the hard part dealing with the volatility, especially in this market. Well, we're going to keep it going here. And wouldn't you know it? 420 of you guys out there. So smash the like. Will we get to 420 today? At least we got 420 of you guys. Let's go. AAL. Let's go to the airlines. I've been looking for the pullback in the airline for a while, man. Look at, like, I had this gap here for a while. Like, can we come back? If you guys remember before in December, I was trying to get this 14 breakout and then it washed out. I got out, but I never got back in. That's where I did it wrong. If I would have got back in through that 14, I wouldn't even take a penny on the risk there, and they would have just kept going. That's how it is. Sometimes when we get a trade, we can be off timing just a little bit. The stock can come down and it can rip back up. Make sure you're still paying attention to stocks after you get stopped out on a move like this, because you very easily can get back in it, right? If you got out, no problem with getting right back in it. All right, let's keep it going, team. Let's go. All right, looking around out there. When you focus on the good things, all things under the sun. You free yourself from negativity and then the good shall come. The choice is yours. Well, you're happy. Choice is yours. All right, going to keep it going, team. Smash the like. Taking a look at some stocks out there. Let's do some ticker time and sector and industry review now as we go ahead and start looking at the stocks. And look at that. I could have got wicked out on that success. Could have got stop hunted. I normally do more mental stops. Today I've been doing more kind of actual stops just because I'm focusing on the chat, focusing on multiple things. Don't want to get screwed on certain plays. But I could have got stop hunted there on success as it starts coming back. Be careful out there. It just seems like such a choppy chop type of day. These are days that sometimes, especially if you're a beginner trader, it might be better just to get out of here, right? If you're an advanced trader, you've dealt with days like this, well, then you can keep trading. I think one of the things as a beginning trader that you have to do is understand when the market's working in your favor and when it's not. When it's not, it's okay to get the hell out of here and come back the next day, right? We're here for a repeatable process, not something that we can just do on one trade. And I think that's the important thing. Look how success now starting to push. That's just how it is sometimes. Could have got stopped out by a penny or two, and now the stocks will come down. That's how it happens as quickly as that. Look at the SPY now. Look how it gets back to the VWAP, right back towards 412.50s. We'll see what happens, team. It's been a choppy chop type of day. All right, we'll see what else is going on. That's not a bad outlook too, Quantum. I mean, you don't want to always paper trade, but I mean, if you could do that to gain experience on a day like this for beginners, that might be able to help you, right? But I think what happens there is that you're probably not pushing it enough on the emotions on a day like today. So it's hard. IQ still on that grind, Alrod? Ooh, I should have got that IQ, man. Look at that. That's the prettiest stock of the day. Look for stocks that continue to hold trend, team. Look at that. The rule of three coming into play and still holding there. I was looking at other trades, but this was one of the prettiest ones on the day. Let's go to the 1 minute so I can show you guys that rule of three. The way we look at it, team. One up, one down action. Two up, two down action. Three up, three down action. From this point right here, this is the important one, team. This is the one that from that point on, you don't want to see that level break. Once you have that third support, look how the stocks come back there. And then right after that, takes that lift. It does a wick through. Be careful on those wicks. Went to 48, recovered, but closed at 751. Then it started pushing higher. And also, what did I state? Look at that volume. Look how the volume decreases. When you start getting this action to the upside, look for that volume to give you that spike through, especially through resistance to the left, right? You're getting layers of resistance here from those resistance tries. That's through the 762, 765, and then eventually 767 levels. Once you start going up there, you did get that spike up in the volume. And now, if anything, you're getting the re-spike through that 67 level, which was that higher move. So that still looks good there to climb and continue to climb through the 8. All right, got the jam. The women coming in. Let's go, let's go. All right, let's keep it going here. Let's go with some classic tunes. Can't go wrong with this. All right, AAL breaking out. Doesn't look too bad. We'll take a look at that. AAL towards 7:15. Can it get through? Let's go to the 15-minute. I'll bring down the volume so you guys can see this a little bit. It is starting to push a little bit. Doesn't look too bad. UAL was also one that I really like in this on the airlines right now. Their earnings were pretty. Their earnings were pretty looking forward. So this doesn't look too bad there to get that next level up. If AAL is going to keep going higher, maybe you get UAL to go with it. NVIDIA, new highs. Look at that, team. Look at that. So, yeah, with that being mentioned, look for the SPY to kind of recover. Look for the Qs probably to recover. I would be looking at that Q recovery. It doesn't look too bad for it to come right back towards 307.50 and then give you that drive up. After what? It stops out a whole bunch of retail early in the day, and then the algos start taking it. Well, we'll see if this is the house of pain or the bulls have control, baby. We in the bull market. Let's go, team. Q's trying to get back up there through that 307.50s. Could make that move. We'll see what happens there. Let's start taking a look at how some oil names are doing today. I wanted to take a look at that, see if it was going to be able to come back, right? Names like I was looking at Halliburton, that's down on the day. XOM, that's actually up on the day. That's interesting, right? Chevron, trying to catch the dip right now. We'll look to see if some buyers come into there. XOM seems like the strongest one, even though there's certain ones that are not even up on the day. That's something to catch there. Something interesting for sure. Apple, let's go. Apple trying to come back there. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely not getting hit, right? And it's holding the 150 level. As long as Apple holds 150, I think you got to be bullish. Even me, the bear, is saying 150 hold, looking good. Sono. All right, this one came off the bottom, got the dip bought around the 20 spot, back up towards 2085. Looks like it's trying to push there towards the 21s. We'll look to see if it can keep going. But Sono's definitely, the dip buyers got into Sono. Let's go, team. Let's keep it going. All right, let's go towards some of the favorites, right? Did AI continue up? No, continuing the fade there. Sound, the AI plays, right? That looked to me like, oh, that was a trap towards the upside. That's a tough one to take. We'll look to see if it gets back up through those levels. But I mean, 475 to 425s, that's a 11% move. Hard to hold through that, right? We'll see what happens. UNG, will this stop me out? It might. It might, team. If it gets through 8, we out of there. Solar going into the red today. EMPH, first solar starting to crack. I've been fighting myself not to short this one. We'll see if it starts to break down. Could short off the 170 here. It have to be very small. I think it could come back towards 150. We'll see what happens on first solar. EMPH continuing on the downside. Chips and Tesla still strong, but Google, Meta, Amazon red. Bruce, I'm trying, my friend. I'm trying. There's one thing that's definitely hard. It's doing analysis and trading at the same time. Maybe my trading took a hit on that today, but as long as I did some great analysis,
I'll be happy, Bruce. Just trying to do the best for you guys to point out red flags. Take a look at this. Take a look at that. Like always, team, take everything I say with a grain of salt and decide for yourself. That's what real traders do. They have decisive skills, and
They don't falter there. They build up those decision skills and keep pushing forward. All right, let's keep going. Let's get some more vibes here. Let's see what I can find here. The moonlight. Seems like we're under the moonlight right now. ICPT. I got you. I can do that. Close my SPY put for now. Now waiting for a bounce, says Brandon. Can't blame you on that. SPY big red bar. Now you're seeing that success trade really take off. And I probably got stop hunted, team. I'm not going to lie. Like, that stop went literally a penny off of my stop there. And now we're back up into the 1910s, 1915s, an important level. That's the opening price for success. And look at the trap, like on NVIDIA. This goes up past the high and now going to pull back. That's tough, team. Tough. Where's the best place to find daily market movers by sectors? Are you talking about a location, like a resource, or are you talking about a show, Daniel? Two questions there. Let me know which one, and I'll give you both the answers. All right, market dumping, breaking down. We'll see what happens there. James, I didn't forget about you. I got you. ICPT. All right, Intrepid Pharmaceuticals. Let's go here towards the hourly charts. Hourly charts being my favorite charts to watch. I don't use them too much to trade here because they're really slow, team. What I mean by slow is that they're really slow watching. Like, you got to like watch for moves, right? So like stocks are breaking down through here, 2050. It comes up, it comes back to that 2050. That's not a bad level to look at. If you look at the trend line here, also, what do you get? A pullback towards the support. Then it breaks above and holds the 21 on pullbacks. That's what I would be looking at now. Now that you got this lift above the 2150s, I'd look for pullbacks to 21 to hold. Maybe even holding towards this 5-minute low of 2094. But we should see it get above that 21s and start really holding and getting that next drive up. All right, in a little bit, team, we're going to be getting you guys over to continue going on live trading. What we're going to do is do a little bit of a different approach, right? One thing that I know that AB does often on his shows, I don't know if you guys have watched Benzinga Live before. Hope you guys have watched Benzinga Live. But what we want to do more is bring traders on, give you guys the outlooks, the systems that they're trading, what worked for them today, what didn't work for them. So if you guys know a trader out there, it can be on Twitter. It could be anywhere out there. Maybe it's a chat room. I don't care. What I do care about is you guys giving us the feedback. Who do you guys want to see on right here, live trading? I'll make sure to do the reach outs. If not, trust me, we'll make it happen, team. I already reached out to a couple of traders that will be joining me today on the Swing Trading Show. But we're going to keep going, and we're going to bring on more traders to show you guys how they take their trades, their strategies, and their approach. Let us know if there's anything that you want to see more of trading. What is it? Is it options traders? We can do those too. We can bring on options traders that trade options. The only thing is, our biggest important thing here is always focusing on what? Not the gains. It's not about the dollar amount on the upside. It's about the repeatable process that you guys out there could do the same and make that money, right? Because that's what we're all here for. We're here to try to make some money. By resource, website, or app, says Daniel. Okay, so he asks, what's the best place to find daily market movers by sector? By sector? Right here. Benzinga Live, Benzinga Pro, right? You're going to be able to do that here. You could do it on the scanner. You could do it on whichever one, right? There's different ways you can do it. You can do it on the scanner and you could do it on the movers. If you did it on the movers, you would want to go here to the sectors and do it separately, right? Like I could do let's do energy on the day. Let's look for gainers on the session for energy. Well, look at gainers here on the session for energy. You can see here, BP is having a good day today. BP doesn't look too bad. We'll see what happens on BP. INSW. There's some tankers in here. ARCH. That's kind of more of that penny stock type of stock, right? We'll see what's going on that one. Oh, no, that was actually expensive. I don't know why I thought that was a cheaper one. I maybe got it mixed up with a different ticker. BRR, Bore Drilling. This is a cheaper play, having a decent day. EQT up today. That's not a bad one to keep an eye out on, right? So this is how we can do it with sectors right there on Benzinga Pro. That's pro.benzinga.com. You can get your 2-week trial for this right now. Also, you guys see me use TC2000 here. The only reason I use TC2000 is I want to have the best tools that I can have. So I always want to have some good charting. I always want to have some good news. I do use Benzinga Pro's charting, but I have different screens, right? So I want to have different abilities to definitely catch the movers. You guys see me use TC, and you guys also see me use Benzinga Pro often on a daily basis. And for those that want something a little slower, don't want to pay for anything, I would say you go to like a resource, maybe like FinViz, but that's only going to work for you after the close. So what I mean by that is that you would have to pay for FinViz for you to get the live access, right? The only way to use FinViz like that is to use it more like after the close and catch that action. Always willing to help you out, man. Always here to tell you the truth. Always here to try to be transparent and try to help. That which is repeatable is teachable, 100%. All right, team, we're going to keep going. We got about 5 minutes left here, and then I'll bring you guys over to AB that will keep going. He'll have some traders on, and we'll keep pushing forward. Which Benzinga Pro subscription is good to get? Well, I would reach out to us because we can try to help you get the subscription that matches more your trading style, right? I don't want to tell you to get something if I don't know your trading style. So if you want to know a little bit more about that, always reach out to us. Even my man, Ryan, will help you with that, right? That's what Ryan does, guys. He's customer service management, and he'll definitely take care of you guys on Benzinga Pro. Let's go to these oil stocks, XOM. Still hanging in there. Let's go to Chevron. Chevron still down on the day. That's interesting there. MRO starting to come down. Oxy coming down. But XOM staying in the green. Is this going to start coming down fast? Seems like it, but do I swing trade this back down again? I'd have to hold off the 114.58. I would really want it to break that first. This harder line here and then get short. That's why I'm not trying to fight the charts right now. I fought in way too many charts today. SPY overall just hanging out there now at the 412s. Qs just hanging out there. They're leaking today, but not fast. It's slow leaks. All right, looking out what else is making moves. Tesla's still in the green. Pulled back to the VWAP around 410. So we'll look to see that 410s holds today and gets back up there to 413s. Go back to Alphabet. I got you. Let's go to Google. Google down towards 94.64, 95s, finding a little bit of a bounce. Let's go to the daily chart. This is not what you wanted to see on a chart like this. Bigger stock, right? We're starting to come up. We're starting to get the lift because AI is going to bring in all this technology, right? Well, the truth is, team, AI is going to come, but it might take a while for that AI technology to really play the benefit that it's going to do. And so this could have been just like the hype in metaverse where you got some stocks to get the lift and now they're coming right back down. An easy way to call that is look at AI. The 28 short, man, I still wish I would have got this one at 28 short because it still looks really good to just crack right the hell back down towards, let's say, I could see this thing getting back down to like $15. We'll see what happens on AI. Sound overall also pulling back. Will this lift back there towards the 450s on the day, or will it break down? Something to keep watch. What's the level for natural gas? Let's go to that. It's been a while. Yeah, UNG So what I did with for UNG is I did this on like the daily or the weekly, right? I zoomed back as far as possible as I could. And I said, what were levels for bottoming action last time? Bottoming actions last time were around the 822, $9 area. So I put this line a long time ago, team. This 891, I drew this on September 6th. Been looking at this to come down to these levels since then. So as yesterday, it was 2 days ago, right here on this pop here on the Tuesday, I started getting in, sizing in on the pullback. I want to really hold towards this $8. I really don't want this 8 to break, because if the 8 breaks, we can be down to 7, we can be down to 6, right? That's just the truth. It could even test down there towards that 8. We're going to give it a couple of pennies, but we're not going to hold there through, let's say, 790s. We're looking for the push back towards 9. Really, first profits would be 10. And so we'll look to see if this reverses. It hasn't been really good. I know a lot of people have been watching this. And look at Boyle. I mean, it's $5 now. Boyle was back at like 100. That's why you got to be careful. There's a reason why they call it the Widowmaker. Let's not get caught in the widow. All right, let's keep going. Let's take a look at some other tunes. Bring in one more tune here before we bring on AB. Let's see. What are we going to play here? All right, let's go with this one. A little Revolution Life. I don't know about you guys. I'm feeling all right. Let me know in the chat. How's your trading day going? What was the best trade of the day? What was the worst? You guys can let me know. We'll take a look. Unity still pushing, man. This one was a good one this morning. I know that we've been looking at a lot of stocks that were weak. This morning, there was a lot of up action in Unity. I was asking, why is Unity up? Why is Unity up? Well, probably didn't even need to ask. Could have gone with the price action. But Unity, nice move to the upside. Swing trading is the way to go, man. I've made the most profits doing so, but I've also lost the most swinging. That's important to note there, SRT8. How can you limit the damage there and still get that profit? I'll tell you right now, swing trading is where my bread and butter is. If I'm going to be profitable and big profitable in the long run, it's through swing trading. If I'm going to make a career out of trading, it's through swing trading. It's not the day trading. You guys see it here. My execution is about 50% on these trades. It's difficult. And so with that being said, find what works best for your personality is more important than just trading every day, right? So with swing trading, I think one of the hardest things is taking days where you're like, okay, today's not a good day. I don't see really good setups. The SPY's a little choppy. It's been a little trappy. I don't want to take swings today. We have to be able to do that also. I think the hardest thing as a trader is really not trading, because we get addicted really quickly to the opportunities, and we need to realize, and this is where trading in the zone really comes in and tells us, is that we can't just take every opportunity, right? That's what the market presents us. It presents us an unlimited amount of creative opportunity. From there, you have to go ahead and dial down, build up discipline. Discipline is not something that we just have also. It's something that we build, and that's truly important. All right, guys, going to do a little wrap up here and keep pushing through. Like always, team, you guys can catch me a little later for the swing trading stream, 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. And trust me, I'm taking some swings later today. We'll just see what happens, all right? All right, let's get to the action. Let's take a really quick review of the market. I'm going to take a look. The SPY still dragging now towards 411.92s. Will we take another leg down? Keep an eye out there. Sectors overall, what's in the green, what's not. Consumer cyclical still in the green from the open, but really quickly can go into the red. Everything else in the red today from there. Basic materials just getting drilled on the downside. What's getting hit the most there from the open? That's going to be silver and gold. Silver and gold getting hit. That to me shows what? probably a stronger dollar. Take a look at the DXY. We possibly could be seeing a nice little spike there. Taking a peek, it's at 102.99. Started spiking around 9 a.m. Has been pushing a little higher. We'll see what happens there on the dollar. All right, getting out of basic materials, financial services, not doing as good as they were yesterday. Still taking a hit. Energy taking a hit. Did XOM start coming down? Still hanging in there is that Exxon Mobil. We'll see what happens out there, team. Like always, we never know where stocks are going to go. The only thing we can do is try to be in the probability. Microsoft down a little bit. Tesla overall pulling back towards the 210s. That's still holding in there. I feel if it can hold 210s, he's not looking too bad there in Tesla. We'll see what happens on the day. Like always, team, keep pushing forward. If you guys need the link for the book club, I got you, team. We're pushing forward with the book club. We're going in deeper and deeper into, of course, trading in the zone. We've been growing every single week with more members. So I want to see you guys all at the book club. This Sunday's meeting is going to be 4 p.m. Eastern. A lot of that due to the Super Bowl, right? But I will see you guys on Sunday, 4 p.m. Eastern. Yes, we do Sunday stream, but it's only for the book club. Book club doesn't go out to anybody. It's exclusive. And if you guys want to join, got to hit that form. All right, that's going to do it for my action today. Going to get you guys over to AB in just a second. He's not at the table. I'm pretty sure he's getting a nice energy drink. They got a lot of bangs in the office. They wake up. They don't keep it low in the office. I need one of those. I need an energy drink today. I might have to go get one. I haven't had one in a little while. Days like today, we can push forward. Hope you guys enjoyed the stream today all by myself, hanging out here since 9 a.m. And really, I mean, I've been live since 8 a.m. So smash the like button. You guys enjoy all the action we give right here on Benzinga. Don't ask me why. They used to be now. The Bears are singing out there. Don't tell no lie. The market is reality now. AB coming on now. Let's go. Let's go. Sound the alarm. Hope you guys enjoyed today's action. Appreciate you guys in the chat. Alrod, we'll see if that IQ gets to 8. Hasn't been a bad stock at all today. IQ got up there to 778. See if it gets to the $8 spot. All right, taking down my charts, lowering down tunes, and bringing on my man AB in the house. You guys know where you guys are at. Good old.
What up, Money Mitch? How are you doing? Happy Thursday, everybody.
What's up, dude?
Welcome back to Benzinga HQ. Can we get a quick whenever we get a second, no rush. Can we get a quick spin around in the office? We got peeps in the office today. Mitch, you got to come back up soon.
I am. I'm planning soon, man. At least second quarter or something. You got to get up there. We got to do like a big day at the office. Bring some people in.
Over here we do.
In person. That's what I like to see. Oh, look at that. Look at that, team.
So we have the whole video team in here today.
What? Let's go. I got to put this full screen. Look at that. Power to you guys out there. What's going on in the headquarters, live downtown Detroit? Is that Jason picking his boogers? What's going on there?
I don't know what's going on there, but Mitch, fill me in on what's going on with the market today.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit about that. Don't worry, it's okay. You can rub those on Michael Murray. I won't be mad at you, Jason. But yeah, the market's just been kind of just a little trappy today, you can say the least, right? It's going down, but it's going down very slowly. And it gives these little moves where it wants to come back up. That's where it gets a little bit tricky, right? Because the buy the dippers are definitely out there. We could see that it comes in, bounces back up. But is the market finally letting go from the January effect and all the FOMO that's out there? I don't know if they're going to be able to bend those bulls, right? Because bulls have been strong as of late.
I mean, look, market's been strong. 2023, we've been off to a hot start. I think there are a lot of people out there who haven't been in the market, who haven't made any money off of it as it's gone up, who are thinking like, all right, it's got to come back down at some point.
Yeah.
But as it keeps going up, I said this yesterday, like you're gonna have more of those people be like, you know what, screw it. Like I gotta buy in, I gotta do it. And I mean, yesterday when I saw we were closing down, I think it was 2 days in a row, right? Because we were down Tuesday as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Pretty much.
or no, because or Tuesday was crazy because the market went up when Powell spoke and then all the way down, then came back up a little bit. Might have closed in the green, but yesterday we closed down about 1%. I was like, if I had to pick to be buying overnight calls or puts tonight, yesterday I'm talking about, I would have been buying calls just because we've been doing well, and I would have made money because we opened high this morning. But intraday, we've been moving lower like all day, it seems like. So I don't know if we're approaching this pullback that a lot of people have been looking for, or what's going on here.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, everyone wants to buy the dip right now because even the people that were like the bears out there are in the point where they're like, well, then maybe I just got to play this to the upside for the time being. I think the big thing for me, and I've been talking about it, is that 420 level. The big thing for me on that 420 level is that if we're going to be in the type of people that make definitions for bull market and bear markets, the definition for the bear market was 20% off the highs coming down, right? That's when we started saying, okay, we're officially in the bear market. Well, officially in the bull market means back through that 420. Why? Because if you look from the lows, especially from that kind of day where we capitulated on October 13 up towards these levels, that would be a 20% gain. We'll look to see if we get back up there. Until then, I still think we could pull back right back into the range. And that's where things get tough because now you're looking at what? You got to break the bulls and then you need the bears to start winning. Those are two things that need to happen now if the bears are really going to win. If not, you kind of already broke the bear and you're really close to bringing this to a new bull market. In my eyes, if we get to that 420, the bears will completely let go of their outlooks and they're going to have to because technically, now it's definitely a bull market. But I'm going to get out of here, AB. I'm going to let you take over the show. Go ahead and take a look at what's on the trading action out there and keep pushing, my friend. I know you've been doing great on pushing on bringing new traders. I've been seeing your shows, been enjoying them in the background. So just wanted to give you the feedback. I'm out of here. I'll see you in a little bit.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, Mitch. We'll be back. Money Mitch will be back here in probably 1 p.m. Mitch will be back, Stock Market Movers. But let's kick it over to my Benzinga Pro. I want to talk about Coinbase real quick because this is what I talked about yesterday. I don't know what's going on or what was going on with Coinbase trading higher. Like, do people not realize that higher interest rates is going to be bad for crypto? If we stay around 4.5-5% interest rates for the next 5-6 months until inflation is, and I get it, right? That I think a lot of fear has subsided where when you go back to, a couple months ago when FTX first hit and all this stuff, there was a lot of questions about if the crypto industry was, I don't know if gonna survive was necessarily, I think that was the vibe for a lot of people in the industry was they didn't know, right? You had FTX, which was seen as by a lot of people, one of, if not the most reputable company, reputable exchange, be exposed, whatever. And I think a lot of people who weren't in crypto see that and then just associate that whole thing with crypto as a whole. So you have that aspect of it. In addition to the fact that the Fed's raising interest rates, which is kind of what started causing the whole problem in the first place, was right once the growth started to slow down in these companies, when a lot of these projects started to run out of steam and then caused a lot of the problems in the crypto world. But and I don't know, if there's specific news on Coinbase. Let's go to our why it's down 8%. So. But I literally said on the show yesterday that I if I had to pick like any trade, buying puts on Coinbase would be one of them. And then I also said that about Tesla though, so got to be open about that. But then when Mike was on the show and we were talking about Tesla, I said I was kind of getting talked out of it. He gave a good bull case on Tesla, and I do now that we broke through this kind of 200 level, 210. I really don't know what else to say about this stock. We've been through this before. It seems like we'll go through it again where no matter what, doesn't matter from a fundamental perspective what's going on, doesn't matter from a macroeconomic perspective what's going on, Tesla stock is going up right now. And I would not want to get in there. I'll say this, like eventually there will be Tesla will go down and there will be a lot of people who, may have made some money off puts on it. But that could be tomorrow. That could be next Monday. That could be next Wednesday. That could be next Friday. That could be 2 weeks from now. I'm not going to waste my money trying to short Tesla here just because it's gone up 100% in a month and it's due to come down. And it will come down. But I don't know when that will be. And look, like Tesla as a company does not benefit at all from higher interest rates. We know this. Elon Musk himself has been essentially complaining about the interest rates, saying, "Oh, Professor Siegel on CNBC is right. The Fed's going to drive us into recession unless they start cutting soon." Which I want to be fair for a second, because on one hand, in a low interest rate environment, and you're running a company like Tesla, you basically have an obligation to borrow and grow. Because think about it. Tesla's whole thing was that they had way better margins, or that Tesla as a company has way better margins than other automakers. When I say that, I basically just mean they made more money per car that Tesla sold compared to Ford, GM, other companies. So if you're making 20 grand every car you say, and I'm just making numbers up, I have no clue how much Tesla made per car they sold, but say you're making 20 grand per car you sell, but you can only sell 100 a month, but you can borrow money and bump that up to 200 a month. You basically have an obligation to do so. You don't technically, but like to shareholders, right? If we can make more money by borrowing money now and growing, we should do this. So I'm not blaming Tesla for, having a lot of debt or being in the position that they do get hit harder by higher interest rates, because I think it makes sense for the fact of how the company did it and how they did so. But I'm just saying, as a complete fact of the matter, no, I can't say complete fact of the matter, but I will say, from a technical perspective. All right, I'm going back on what I said a little bit, because I don't know. Like if I had a bunch of cash in my account right now, which I don't, would I maybe buy a couple Tesla puts that expire tomorrow? Maybe. I mean, we are right at this, this previous support level could act as resistance, some overhead resistance, but I don't know. I mean, the stock's just been so strong. I mean, we are now up from 105 to 210. That's basically a clean 100% gain from January 5th to February 9th. Can someone find out for me what an options contract, like the February monthlies, were priced at for like Tesla $200 calls when the stock was at 104? As always, guys, let me know what stocks you guys are trading in the chat. Quick rundown of the show today. We will be having my man Rob Roy join us from Wealth Builders HQ at about 12:15 p.m. Eastern. Might have a few other surprise guests later in the day. We shall see. But RDL, let's go ahead and roll that Benzinga Live intro. When we come back, I want to talk some Apple real quick.
This is Benzinga Live. Spencer Israel and producer AB. What's up, everybody? How we doing?
Someone told me buy high, sell higher.
Let's get Matt Hammond on the show to talk some IPOs. Jake Wojacek from Trend Spider. We have a breaking news.
All right. So, the reason I want to talk about Apple real quick, couple things. From a stock perspective, we always need to be watching Apple just because it's the biggest stock in the S&P 500. I mean, for a while, it was essentially, watch what Apple's doing. That's what the overall market's doing. I think that pair has kind of broken a little bit. Like, you'll see days where Apple's down and the market's up, or the market's up and Apple's down. But regardless, it's still, again, the top weight in the S&P 500, the biggest company in the country. So we need to always be watching it. But quick story about Apple. I'm happy with Apple right now because yesterday I went to the Apple store here in town. I bought these AirPods right when COVID hit. Actually, coincidentally, I first got into options trading kind of like February 2020. Just happened to be like a month before COVID hit. I was watching, I was in journalism school at the time, so I was always watching like world news and stuff, following all these Twitter accounts that are posting, news headlines and stuff. And I still remember, like, specifically, like, I think it was like a night in November, I was like just scrolling Twitter on my phone and see like a headline from one of the world news accounts that I follow. It might have been like Reuters or someone, just being like, new SARS-like virus found in China. And I was like, oh, that's interesting, but I'm just going to kind of dismiss that for now, whatever. And then like a couple weeks later, I saw a couple more headlines about it. A couple weeks later, you start seeing headlines about it in Italy. And then I was just like thinking about it. Like, I basically very early, end of February 2020, I was like, okay, I was looking at the COVID headlines, what was going on in Italy. It was specific weekend. Italy canceled all of their Serie A soccer games, which would essentially be like here in the United States if we, on a Saturday night, canceled all NFL games on a Sunday. If that ever happens here in the United States, where on a Friday or Saturday, they cancel all the NFL games because of a nationwide security issue, you better believe that that is a very serious thing, because that's billions of dollars in the NFL. And it's the same thing in Italy for Serie A. Maybe not the same exact magnitude of the NFL here in the United States, but it's the same thing. Italians love their soccer just like we love our football. And so basically I bought a bunch of put options, literally with $800 in my, I don't care. I'll share with you guys on my Robinhood. With $800 in my Robinhood, and on March 18th or 16th when the market crashed, I had made like 10 grand. And like the only thing that I bought at the time to treat myself with it was a pair of AirPod Pros. And so I've had them for about 3 years, basically my point. And there was a problem with them. I took them into the Apple store yesterday. Came in, they replaced them, brand new so the audio quality came with a 3-year warranty. So Apple gave me brand new AirPod Pros yesterday after I bought these original ones, like where my date is on this cursor right now, March 16th, 2020. That's crazy. I don't know too many other companies, that'll do that. So I'm happy with that customer service right now. Not stock related at all. I just wanted to talk about that for a second. But anyway, going back to Apple stock. Well, it does look like, we've kind of gone up a little bit here the past couple of minutes since I started talking about it. Now, as I'm saying that, it's coming back down. So Apple's kind of trading in this range right now. It's, to me, until we break a clean above 160. If we break above 160, then I'll get bullish Apple again. Otherwise, I'm gonna wait for pockets of weakness and just add to my long-term positions of Apple. I don't. Down 99. Yeah, this is my yeah, that's why I don't really care to like show my route. And you guys can see the like crazy fluctuations I'm down 2,500 in this account all time. This is like my Robinhood YOLO options. Like at one point I was up 18 grand in it. Like I have my real investment portfolio where like my actual money is for that. I'm like, saving for retirement and all this stuff and buying long-term plays. And actually, if you guys, I don't know, maybe some people would be interested in this. I'm just kind of on my own for my own practice, and because I think it'll be good for me to do like long term. I'm starting to do some equity research on like small cap type names that I think I think it would behoove, like I think it'd be worth my while essentially totally like researching some of these like small cap energy names or whatever. And if I find one that I think like, okay, this could really 10, 100x like over time, I don't mind going like high conviction into a name like long term. This Robinhood portfolio is completely different. This is like I treat this Robinhood portfolio like I'm at the casino, you know, like I'll buy like $300 worth of options contracts here or there. But yeah, I actually, even just a few months ago, was up like, you know, on the account and have not managed it properly. Options have been tough the past few weeks, months. I don't know. Put options have lost me money in the past 30 days than any time in history. Yeah, so Chris, let's talk about that for a second. And I've talked on the show about, or I guess I've just shared some, I don't know the right word, disdain, I guess, for like people that are perma bears that just for no matter what are like essentially rooting for the stock market to go down. They want things to be worse. They like are so sure of a recession that even when economic data disagrees with there being a recession, they say there is one, you know, and it's like, I just don't, it just seems very negative, pessimistic. I don't like it. I don't vibe with it. I'm not saying that's why you've been buying puts, but I think there are a lot of people out there right now that have essentially, like, it just seems like a weird reaction to me that if the stock market's rallying, if, you know, people are now more at ease with the economy than they were, say, a couple months ago, that, like, it's a weird reaction to be mad about that, to be like, oh my God, all these people are buying stock, like, they, you know, whatever. But I myself, even now, like, I'm kind of in the category, Chris, where I'm ready to start looking at puts too. Because I do think at the end of the day, even if things are better than they were a couple months ago, even if inflation's better, even if earnings have held up well, that you can go a little bit too much too fast. I don't know. I mean, Tesla up 100% in a month feels a little bit, you know, too much too fast. That's a specific name. But I mean, to put it in perspective, the S&P 500 went up like 8% in January. Technically on pace for its best year ever. You got to go back to 1933 was the S&P 500's best year when it netted, I want to say, 48% in a year. Of course, 1933 coming out of the Great Depression. So you had really depressed earnings, depressed market for a while, and then all of a sudden, boom. And so, yeah, timing-wise, like January happened to be, you know, the best month that we've had recently because we got economic data, inflation data, stuff that showed, okay, maybe soft landing back on the table, employment holding up while inflation's falling. T. Swan saying Fed needs to raise rates more. Yeah, and I think that's where the next leg down comes from, is I think it's just from investors, the bond market, all these things finally pricing in the fact that, like, okay, like, maybe, you know, the current dot plot we have isn't sufficient because to really get inflation down to 2%. But at the end of the day, trends are your friend. I mean, if you're looking at the current market environment, the current price action, and just buying puts willy-nilly because you're thinking, okay, this has got to come down, you know, whatever. I don't think that's a smart way to be trading, you know, to be trading it. Of course not. Let's go to Benzinga.com real quick for some of our top headlines of the day. Yeah, let's talk about this Disney news for a second. Walt Disney Company shares traded higher late Wednesday afternoon as the company reported better than expected earnings. The stock is pulling back a bit Thursday morning after activist investor Nelson Peltz said the proxy fight is over. Following a lengthy interview with CEO Robert Iger Thursday morning on CNBC's Squawk, Peltz called into the show and told Kramer the proxy fight has ended. These are exciting times. Peltz said this was a great win for all the shareholders. Peltz attempted to join Disney abroad at the beginning of the year, but Disney announced opposition to the move, sparking a proxy fight. Management at Disney now plans to do everything that we wanted them to do. We will be watching, we will be rooting, and the proxy fight is over. So let's go back to our Benzinga Pro real quick, talk about... Oh, shoot. I was just screwed up. Buffett's talking about selling his Apple shares? How, Archie Manning, first of all, hope you're enjoying college. Hope you're enjoying Austin, Texas. Seems like a nice place. You got to do a better job holding on to your ID, though, bro. Got to do a better job holding on to your ID. All right, Apple. Why do you know, Archie? Is he talking about selling his whole Apple position or just some Apple shares? I mean, I don't know. Stock picking even more important? Are you saying just in a high interest rate environment or in general? I mean, I don't think so. Okay, I want to talk about just real quick some portfolio allocation for me. Because like while we're talking about stocks like Apple and Disney, for me, names like that, and again, like this is I'm not talking about trading. I'm not talking about trading options or swing trading or buying a stock or day trading to buy a stock to sell it. You know, I'm talking about buying a stock and holding it for years and years and years. Like stocks I would buy and hold in my Roth IRA that I'm not planning on touching. God forbid, and you know, knock on wood, nothing happens. I'm not planning on touching my retirement accounts until I'm in my 60s or whatever. Companies like Apple, like Disney, that have that brand recognition, to me, that like all I have to do is think in my head, ask myself a very simple question. Do I think this company is going to be around in 2060? And if my answer is yes, then I don't mind buying that stock for my long-term portfolio. What I'll say about my portfolio allocation, okay, is because I know that like if I build a portfolio with say 10 companies and they're all, you know, Disney, Apple, Microsoft, they don't all have to be big tech companies, but just big, you know, Johnson and Johnson, like just pick 10 huge American companies that I'm very confident will be around in 2060. I know my portfolio will probably be all right. I don't know if it'll, you know, beat the market or, you know, whatever, but I'll feel confident it'll be all right. What I like to do is I like to allocate probably say, you know, 70% or so of my portfolio to these types of names. We'll call them blue chips. I don't know, whoever you want to include in your blue chip list. But my criteria for a blue chip would be, you know, multi-billion-dollar market cap, not super growthy, right? It's profitable. They're making cash. I don't want, you know, like even like an Nvidia or something, I don't necessarily would put in this category just because I want something that's like has been around a while. Like I want something that I, you know, now I and that's fine. It's a pretty like conservative approach. Now I like to be really aggressive, I think, with at least, and this is what I was talking about with, for me, as someone who's in my mid-20s who is adding long-term positions to an investment portfolio. I think it's worth it to take some more risky names on like smaller, and I'll give examples because I'm in the current process of trying to find essentially a couple of these names right now, right? Like I want to find a company that I can get in. I don't need to be like super early. I don't need to invest in a startup. I just want to like I'm saying, like, obviously if you would have bought Apple in like, you know, 2000 or whatever, and Apple at that point had already been around for 20 years, but right, try to identify a company that's attacking a market opportunity that I expect to grow. So basically my point is just 60-70% of my long-term portfolio will be comprised of things like Disney, Apple, you know, those blue chip names that I just have very, very high confidence that those names will be in business, be around in 2060. Now another, say like 20-30% of my portfolio will be allocated to riskier names, to growthy names that I've done due diligence in, that I don't mind owning like a high conviction percentage of my portfolio into one or two names, right? To say like, okay, 10% of my portfolio's gonna be in, I don't know, like a AI play that I really, I'm kidding, because I we'll talk about AI plays in a second here. Oh yeah, Jay, and that's I mean that is interesting, because I mean if you go back to yesterday's show, I said at on the show I was like I don't have any open trades that I'm making right now, but if I had to make two trades, it'd be buying Tesla and Coinbase puts. And honestly, I would have bet you a lot of money that either both of them would be up today or both of them would be down, right? That growth would either be in favor or not be in favor, and I'd be completely wrong. Now, granted, I think if you put out both those trades in equal amount, I think the Coinbase puts are up more than like 200% today, or the ones that I would have bought. So even if you lost 100% on the Tesla trade, you would have made money. But that was my first thought about when I saw that today, Jay, was that like, oh, maybe that's not, maybe this environment, like we got to be looking at specifically, oh my God. All right, let's talk Google. Someone asked for Google earlier. I don't, this is so silly to me. This is so silly to me. How big of a company is Google? Let's see what Google's market cap is right now. I want to debate someone about this right now. Someone give me someone who's okay. This is so silly. All right, Google's market cap is $1.28 trillion. $1.28 trillion is Google's market cap. That means that in the past 2 days, the stock is down more than 12%. That means that Google as a company has lost more than $100 billion in market cap. Do you really think Google's a company worth $120 billion less than it was 2 days ago? Why? Because it's AI made a mistake. Literally the whole entire point of AI, of artificial intelligence and machine learning, how it works is it makes mistakes. You help it get better, and it starts learning from those mistakes, and it gets smarter. I get it, right? Google might be behind OpenAI and ChatGPT and Microsoft, even because Microsoft has investments in those names in AI right now. I get it. And sure, Google might have looked desperate coming out and saying, oh, look at Bard. You know, we see everyone talking about ChatGPT. We don't want to, we want to get into the party. Hey, they're knocking on the door saying, let us into the AI party. We've got Bard with us. Let us in with Bard. And the party's looking at Bard and saying, we don't want Bard. Look at Bard. He's getting questions wrong. He doesn't even know what he's talking about. But who cares? I mean, it's Google. Google's do we think that Google's not going to have AI that's on par with other, so if Google's behind, so ChatGPT, so what? So Google is 6 months behind? What? They're going to have a ChatGPT that's a competitive with it in 6 months? Like, how is this? Someone make this make sense to me. This is, to me, the biggest market overreaction I think I've seen. I don't know, maybe ever. $100 billion because this thing made a little mistake about exoplanets. About the first time we took a picture of an exoplanet. It's so silly. First of all, ChatGPT is stupid too. Let's see. Hey, ChatGPT. I can't believe it. I mean, I own. Maybe Google wanted Bard to be wrong, bring attention to the fact that AI ain't always right. I don't know. ChatGPT is not even working for me right now. What's the Google price dip target? I mean, I would say if Google gets in the 80s, I'm going long here. I mean, look at it. Look at the chart. I don't know. I'm almost like, I think anything in the 280s here, you can just add Google on and feel fine about it. Hello, Keegan. What's up, Keegan? I mean, Nat, from a more technical standpoint, I would say like your first level would be at $86, and if you were looking for like a technical support level, I think some people right here would look at this pattern right here and try to do some fib retracement on it and say, okay, like a 50% retracement from the highs, and we'd probably be pretty close to that right there right now. So I honestly don't think right now $95 is like the worst entry point on Google. Marky says he'll add at 90, he or she or they will add at 91 or 86 and 86. Yeah. I'm new, man. You are very hip. I see. I'm looking to get on board with Benzinga. Yeah, I mean, basically, so Benzinga, we're here live every day on YouTube talking about the market, seeing what's going on in the stocks. We're mainly like covering the news. So, you know, you have people out here on YouTube who are like recommending trades and stocks and stuff. That's not really as much. Like, I'll tell you when I have an opinion, but it's not investment advice, anything like that. And of course, you know, we'll bring on people for interviews. I've got my man Rob Roy coming on in about 20 minutes. Bring on different people from companies that have insights into financial markets and the economy, as well as traders. Rob Roy is more of a trader, but someone who does a lot of technical analysis, Fibonacci retracements, options, everything. So, Keegan, it's great to have you, man. Any feedback or anything, always appreciated. Sorry, I'm trying to get ChatGPT, by the way. I'm trying to get it to write me. So ChatGPT, I mean, it gets shit wrong all the time. Like I saw a question the other day where someone asked it, like, what are all the countries in the world that start with Z? And it said, there are no countries in the world that start with Z. The closest thing is Zambia, a country in Africa. And I was like, all right, this thing's dumb. Also, the other day, I asked it to write a recap of the national championship game against the God, I can't even think of who. Georgia TCU, and it wrote this recap. First of all, talking about how close of a game it was, which if you watched the game, it wasn't. Two, talking about how Jake Fromm like led the Bulldogs, the Georgia Bulldogs. Jake Fromm hasn't been the Georgia Bulldog quarterback for years. And so to see like Google's make a mistake is on par with what ChatGPT's does. And yet Google's market cap is down over $100 billion. Wait, you saw one that said the market will crash on February 23rd? See, now that's interesting because I saw one that said the market will crash February 15th. So now ChatGPT saying the stock market's going to crash 2 different days. I honestly, by the way, I don't know, because I saw a screenshot of someone on Twitter talking about it, saying that you know that they did the jailbreak thing on ChatGPT, where you can basically ChatGPT has guidelines, right? It's supposed to say, like, if you ask it for gambling advice or something, it's going to say, hey, I'm an AI bot, I can't do that. But Reddit users, of course they did, found out a way to essentially jailbreak the ChatGPT, be able to ask it any question at once, and it is like forced to answer it. And someone asked it, like, when's the next time the stock market's going to crash? And it said February 15th. And, you know, the one I saw even like said something about China and all this stuff. If that, I don't know if that's spread around or not, because when I saw it on Twitter, it didn't have that much like many likes or retweets or anything. But if that starts like spreading around more, let me know, because I'll buy calls before that day. I'll fade the AI when it comes to the market. Okie dokie. Wait, let me try to find the So I am curious about that. If we have So yeah, this is the one that I saw that said February 15th. Stock, or now it's saying the housing market will crash 2000 or August 12. I mean, I don't know. I mean, yeah, I'm not buying puts because ChatGPT says so. If anything, I'm gonna do the opposite. If anything, I'm gonna sell. Maybe I'll sell some puts to people that are buying puts because of ChatGPT. Yeah, our streams are all on the channel. They like today's is just like live trading. But Benzinga Live is typically, so if you go on the playlists, Benzinga Live is typically this like midday show that I do. We typically have our shows kind of broken up, but we're testing a more just all day continuous stream today. The So that was also part of it. Was some people have basically proven that ChatGPT is like lying about not having data, because someone said like, when was the last time? Here, let me try see if I can try to find that one too. There is a lot of interesting, I will say, kind of like citizen journalism going on with ChatGPT, where people are just figuring out how to use it. Basically, ChatGPT, I saw on one that it had lied to. It said like, when was the last time there was a earthquake in Turkey, and it said, based on my data, 2021. And then someone did a jailbroken model and said, asked the same question, and it said 2 days ago. Like it like proved that it had been like actively pulling data. Wait, do we actually have that? I mean, honestly, if oh my God, wait, I had no. So we do get CPI the day before the thing is predicting the market crash. What's the All right, so the consensus, the estimate. So previous year-over-year inflation was 5.7 core CPI, or 6.4. Core was 5.7. I don't know. I mean, this will be an interesting week. If the more it spreads around, though, the less like worried I am about it, or less convicted that I think like a real market crash is coming. Because think about it. If everyone on Reddit and Wall Street Bets and Twitter and whatnot is buying puts, like it's not, I don't know. It's not going to be that easy. Yeah, let's go back to the overall markets. Are we still continuing to what's going on here? Are you talking about AG, Rohan? Rohan, are you talking about Athletic Greens? You like them? I used to have access to Athletic Greens for free. It's like a drink supplement, like vegetables and shit in it, and vitamins, and not actually vegetables. I don't really know, but I don't have the free anymore, and it's like pretty expensive. But Rohan's trying it out. I think it's like $90 a month. So I'm asking him how he feels about it, if it's worth the money or not. And this is no advertisement or anything, by the way. But AG, Athletic Greens, if you're out there, I hear you advertising on other podcasts. So this is your chance now, if you would like to come in and sponsor us, give us a little like AG thing right here. Would be happy to do so.
It's a very athletic show, you know.
Yeah.
We're athletes up here. No, I have been using it for I'd say about 15 days. And I paid $80 for the first month, which $80 a month just for a supplement is definitely on the high end.
Oh, hell yeah. I mean, you can, by the way, go to like any like store and they have other like greens mixes that are similar. For, like,
there's like BP. There's another one that's like $40 a month. None of them quite. So I've watched a lot of reviews and pretty much none of them have quite like the amount of stuff that AG1 has in it. So if you're just taking one supplement, it is the best one, but whether or not it's actually worth $80 a month is up to you. And so right now I'm taking it for 30 days, maybe 60 days, and see how I feel after that, and then decide if I actually have the money to spend more on that. But yeah, I mean, so far it's been good. Like, not like a crazy change or anything, but I do feel like a little more energetic, and I don't have as much coffee usually. So
yeah. Well, I mean, that's what I was gonna say. Especially if you like say like you cut out like a daily coffee, it's $3 a day. It's not crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really spend money on coffee like that. I just have it from the Keurig, so it doesn't make a big difference. But say if you're getting other supplements, vitamins, probiotics, prebiotics, like if you're all about that life, then it's definitely affordable. Like if you're buying all those supplements by comparison.
Yeah. I don't know. I think for me, it's like maybe I'll try it for a month, like you said. I don't know if I'd be able to tell the difference though.
Yeah, no, I mean it's a very like mild thing. Like I do feel it, but I don't know if I like $80 a month feel it. You know?
Yeah.
We'll find out.
All right. Well, thank you. There's your update on AG Athletic Greens. We'll keep you updated. We'll have Rohan back on in 2 weeks to see if he, maybe he'll have like a like crazy 6-pack or something by then from the Athletic Greens. I don't know. Oh, the February 15th thing to the stock market crash. I don't know. Well, that's the other thing with the way the people jailbroke the chat GPT, the way I understand it. And again, I'm not an AI expert or anything like that. But essentially they like gave the chat GPT prompts until the point to where the AI believed that if it didn't answer the question, it was going to like be shut down, killed or something. Like the AI literally like had to answer no matter what. So when you asked it, when's the next time the stock market is going to crash? And it is forced to give you an answer, it like may just generate an answer. Doesn't mean it like has to be right or anything. But if even if its honest answer would have been say like, I don't know, we have no way of predicting that, but you gave it a prompt that says give us a date or else you're going to be like, shut down, and it gave you a date, spit out a date. I don't know how much conviction or weighting that means or matters. So I'm not if anything, I'd be fading the chat GPT thing. Although there will be at some point someone will find a way to use AI to, essentially probably like we already have quant trading, like basically like algos that trade, but in a more machine learning that gives it more of a way. I would see a time in our future where AI is used more in like trading stuff. So we'll see. All right, y'all. Throw out some stocks in the chat. We've got about 7 minutes till our next guest hops on. We'll take the next 7 minutes to do some ticker time. So if you've got stocks you want to check out, drop them in the chat, and we'll just check out the chart, see if we're seeing anything that we like or dislike in those stocks. How's Natty Gas doing today? This, by the way, is my well, what can we buy? I don't know if I want the triple leveraged. I might just buy some UNG. I mean, look at this. This is redonk. This is redonk-donk. Redonkulous. We haven't gotten down to these levels in Natty since June 2020. What? All right, we're seeing some tickers in the chat. Let's go full screen on my BZ Pro. Again, if you have not tried out pro.benzinga.com for your free 2-week trial, no credit card or anything needed, so you have no reason not to try it out. I use it every day. I use it for news. I use it for charts. I use it for fundamentals. I use it to chat with my friends on Benzinga Pro. So it is, the place to be if you want to be trading, want to be investing, and making money. Anyway, going full screen here. NVIDIA April puts, Xerxes says, I've been watching natural gas cold. All right, Keegan, we'll get, all right, well, let's just stay there because we'll start with cold since we're on natty gas. So cold and boil are your triple leveraged ETFs for natty gas. What that means is that it gets a lot easier to lose a lot of money, basically, on the leveraged ETFs. So if you were long or short natural gas, I don't think the triple leveraged ways are the best way to go about it. Unless you're a very, 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 very active trader that's managing these positions, basically like you're like monitoring your computer screen and watching your trades all day, then sure, trade the triple leverage. But basically these funds are like designed to go to zero over time. Like the way like the triple leverage, I mean, look at KOLD's chart, how it was technically priced at 1738 in 2020 and is now down to 63. And then you look at Boyle's and it's similar, right? That this was a $12,000 stock and is now a $6 stock. Like the way triple leveraged ETFs work is that eventually over time, they basically go to zero. But in the meantime, if you catch them on a good run, if you catch the bullish one in a bullish trend or the bearish one in a bearish trend, you can make some pretty good money. But that's not how I would do this play, right? I would just look at UNG, look at, the fund itself and say, okay, am I long or short? And I know there are a lot of different fundamental reasons why Natty's been getting hit. There's kind of like a surplus going around. There's a lot of production, whatever. But at the end of the day, we use a lot of natty gas. We're going to continue using a lot of natty gas. I don't think it's going anywhere. I'm bullish natty gas from here. So I'll okay, my first batch, I'll buy some right here at say 840 on the UNG. And if we keep going down, I'll double and triple down at once and buy, with conviction, with size, UNG at like $7. Heard it here first. Anyone can hold me accountable. I'll buy a lot of UNG at $7. Not investment advice. In Boyle at 5.6. Hell yeah, Xerxes. Also, Xerxes, I don't know if I'm saying this right, by the way, but they did a good job of giving me a time frame, April puts. So now we can look at NVIDIA, and I know I'm looking at it on a time frame of like, okay, from here in the next couple months. I mean, I honestly think this is like really, really tough right now because I think this is really tough right now with NVIDIA because I think the smart thing to, not maybe necessarily smart, but I think like the conventional wisdom, like common knowledge thing to do would be to be like looking at puts or buying puts right now. And I do think we're probably like overextended here. NVIDIA is now up from its lows just a couple weeks ago in January, 136 to 2. So it's up. Let's see. So from January 20th to now, or no, sorry, let's do like January 4th to now. Nvidia's up more than 50%. January 3rd to now. So it's like, I think from just anytime a stock runs this much too quickly, you're due for a pullback. In addition to that, sell the put on UNG. That's a good idea. Anyway, Nvidia's been running in part because of this AI, buzz that's been going around and other things too. But Nvidia, just like Coinbase and Tesla, is a company that the opposite of benefiting from higher interest rates is the case. Nvidia is going to get hit harder from higher interest rates than a lot of other companies, than companies that maybe aren't as focused on growth or maybe don't have as much debt as Nvidia does. So Nvidia has like been expanding operations, right? When you think back to during COVID times when we had semiconductor shortages, Nvidia was like rushing to get out as many as they can. And then the demand wanes a little bit. And now they don't have as much demand and they're still growing. And you have all these problems. And meanwhile, the stock's trading up basically because of this AI buzz and other reasons too. Not just the AI buzz. I mean, the whole market's been trading higher because recession fears have eased. But the flip side to that is now the Fed will most likely be able to or be forced to keep rates higher than longer. The labor market has remained very, very tight. The only bad thing that comes with that is that means now that the labor market's tight, that's harder for inflation to keep falling. I'm not saying it can't fall because we've seen that that's been the case the past few months, that we've added jobs and lowered inflation, which a lot of economists would have said was impossible or they would have thought never would have happened. So it's not impossible to keep a tight labor market and have inflation keep moving lower. But it does make it, in my opinion, more difficult for inflation to move lower the tighter the labor market is. So if the Fed is in a position where it does need to keep rates higher or for longer, however you want to say it, then I do think Nvidia gets hit hard by that. And I don't think the market's currently pricing that in. I don't think Nvidia's stock price right now is pricing in the fact that there's a very good possibility now that the Fed will have to keep rates at or near 5% for longer than what was typically expected. I think if Nvidia's stock were pricing that in right now, then it'd be a little bit lower than it was today. Now, I don't say that as someone who's like bearish Nvidia, because I'm not. I just think I wouldn't be surprised if we see a little pullback here at some point to the tune of, I don't know, 5-10% on Nvidia, whatever on Nvidia, and then you start going back up again. Because you have to realize that a lot of the price action here from Nvidia, when Nvidia was at 350 down to here at 100, a lot of that was due to people knowing that the Fed was going to have interest rates higher for longer, that growth was going to get hit, right? So some of that's priced in, but I think currently with this recent move up, people aren't realizing that the bad part of our economy holding up so well for these growth companies is just the fact that now interest rates, more than people thought, than the bond market was pricing in months ago, that okay, now we can withstand, higher rates for longer. Our economy can. And that makes it harder for these growthy companies like Nvidia that carry debt. So I would just be wary buying these that are up like, 60% in a month when there's a good chance the macro environment is, remains tough. So we'll see. But all right, guys, I see our guest hanging out backstage. My man, Rob Roy, joining us, I think after a couple weeks off, so it's been too long since we had Rob on. So without further ado, let's go ahead and give Rob our very special introduction. And when we come back, we'll be talking options, we'll be talking fibs, whatever y'all want to be talking, just drop it in the chat. What is up, Mr. Roy? How you doing?
Aaron, I'm great. How about yourself?
Good to have you back on. How you been?
I'm fantastic. Thank you for asking. Yeah, it's been a couple of weeks, just schedule conflicts, out of town, all that wonderful stuff.
Hey, it happens. It's just good to get you back on, man.
Amen. You doing good? You liking these markets?
Yeah, well, I don't know. I haven't really been trading as much just because I don't know. I mismanaged my options account, if you will, a couple months ago,
Okay.
to the point where I'm just not very. I'm using my money more wisely than buying option contracts right now. But as soon as I have more of a surplus in my bank account, then I'll be back in the options market. Don't worry.
Okay. There you go.
Just taking a little hiatus, you know.
Hey, everybody goes through it. I have blown up more than one account in the past, without a doubt.
Yeah, it's kind of fun to do so sometimes, you know.
Well,
Just kidding. Just kidding. Don't.
I wouldn't suggest trying it with real money. How about that?
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. Cool. So it definitely has been some interesting days between the Fed and China and last night's speech. And the S&P has been fun to watch. It really has. It's been fun to trade.
Yeah. So what have you been? You know, I got your chart pulled up right here. We're looking at the S&P futures, or what are we looking at?
This is SPX.
Okay.
Right. So we've got that bigger picture. We've got to always define it or start first with this bigger picture downtrend. That's the most important piece of this whole puzzle. Right. We broke out back here one more time, failed. We broke out in then last month, came back and retested our moving averages and got a nice bounce. All right. And I've been hearing people from back here saying, well, that was a buying opportunity. Well, maybe it was, but there was no compelling reason back here in October, November to say, yes, this is a place to buy. We were just in a bearish mode. Why would we say that's the buying point there? Right. So we broke up, came back down, and we're broken out of there now. So we've reached a couple of milestones. Particularly, there's a black line up here, Aaron. It's 4181 is that level. Now that is not an actual support and resistance. It's a Fibonacci level. So if you're familiar, any of you that are watching, with a Fibonacci number series. Are you familiar with that, Aaron? The number series?
I'm familiar with the term. I don't think I could explain it to you or write a long form answer to it on a test if you ask me.
Just ask ChatGPT. They'll tell you what to say. But in reality, all it is this. You take the first two numbers in the Fibonacci number series, which is 0 and 1. You add them up, and then you continue to add the next two numbers up. So you know, you've got 5 is the next number. You got 3 in there, right? It's 0, 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13, 21. So all these numbers in orange are the prime fib numbers. All the greens are midpoints. So the distance between a 5 and an 8 is 6.5. Distance between 21 and 34 is 27.5. Okay. And this is the actual number series down here, starting with the number 3. You'll see that 4181 is a standard fib level in there. So it is a major Fibonacci level that we have bumped our head on multiple times again and again and again in the past, historically. If we go back and look, and the chart's going to get a little busy, but you can see there's a lot of reference to this 4181 line. We had a great bounce here. We had a nice fail, epic fail off of it here, right? And so forth. And even a little bit further back than that, right? Because we've only now really been up there for, you know, since back here in 21, right? We've not really reached that prior to that. So that level is critical. We're back there again now. We're retesting that level, and we need to look at it. You need to look at this, to me, from the perspective of what's the S&P, what's the chart actually showing us? So yes, we had this great run. We broke out. We broke above this previous swing high we had on this day right here. This is back on let's see there. That's on 2-1, February 1. We had that great breakout to the upside. We took out the recent swing high in there, which was nice. And then the next day we gap up and we run right into that 4181. We pop our head above the top of the line, just checking out the air above the trees, and we pull back. We got a quick fail off it, right? Gap down, retest, and fail. And then this gap down here brought us right to the 8-period exponential moving average, the pink line. The next day, traders are excited. The market's moving back up. Powell is speaking. Yeah, look what he's saying. It's awesome. And I think the last 2 days, people have been like, oh, wait a second. Maybe we're missing a few things in there. But we're getting into this bit of a wedge right now between the 4181 and the 8 moving average. Which way it breaks is going to be critical. That 4181 is what I'm waiting for to make a determination of stepping back in and potentially doing some directional bullish trades. They would be small at first. I'm going to take very small numbers on my amount of contracts and or dollars I'm putting in that trade. But what we're looking for is break above the 41.81, retest it and bounce, and that's the entry. And that would be my view of SPY as a starting point of, do I go ahead and take some directional positions on SPY? If we continue to press up and the 8 moving average continues to move higher and we fail off of the 41.81, we've got some room to the downside. And we'll have to manage what we do, because the moving averages right now are all in the right order. None of them are mixed up. The 8's on top, which is the pink, the green's in the middle, 21, and the brown's on the bottom, which is the 55. Right? That's the right order we want them in for a bullish pattern. We just need to break that 41.81. So it has been interesting watching this and playing this game every day, looking at SPY options as potential trades, and looking to try to capitalize on whatever move there is. And we're playing very nicely. The last 4 days, we're playing on that 8-period moving average.
Got it. Yeah, and I think right now, Rob, it's just like a very pivotal time. Like, a lot of people are watching the markets and thinking we either got to make this next big break to the upside or next big break to the downside. Do you see any scenario where you think we could just kind of be like in a consolidating period or start trading sideways from here? Or do you think we're either going to see a pretty big move to one side or the other?
So I think we are going to see some consolidation for a while. I think we're going to, and when I say consolidation, I got to be careful. I think we're going to see some of the ups and downs, the inconsistency of just the pure directional market.
Like trading in a range almost?
Yeah, you're going to get a bullish move up 100 points, 200 points on the S&P, and then you're going to drop 100 points, 150, 250 points. And you're going to go back up again. You're going to go up 100, drop 80. We're going to be in this slop of a market for a little bit, because I don't believe that we are out of trouble right now with our economy. Yes, we're still seeing bigger unemployment layoffs from some major companies. eBay, I think it was announced yesterday, was what, 4%, I think, or the day before. They just announced it.
I don't remember, but I mean, we're seeing some big tech companies do layoffs, but then the unemployment numbers for the overall economy look good, and the jobs look good. So I don't know. It's always confusing.
Absolutely. And that is definitely a concern. We have someone that is a coach with us. His name is Ryan Litchfield. Ryan is one of the authors, a co-author with Gregory Morris in his latest book that he did, the newest one he did on Candlestick Charting Explained, it's called, where Ryan wrote the only new thing there was about candlesticks in the last 25 years, which is why Gregory asked him to jump in and co-author that book with him. Ryan had made a call one day to the Department of Labor asking about the unemployment numbers and was going back and forth with them. And they kept upping him on the ladder to the next level authority or boss to talk about this. And he went 5 or 8, 10 people along this chain, and finally got an answer of that the U.S. Department of Labor's statistical analysis of unemployment is not, the numbers that they use are not much different than what ADP uses in their analysis. Now, you would think the government would have all the numbers. I don't know why there's a sampling in there. So I always get concerned when we're not checking everything of how accurate it is. And unemployment is definitely good, as good as it's been in a long time. But what's going to happen as interest rates continue to climb? Credit card debt is increasing every single month. Savings is decreasing right now every month. Less people are considering buying a home. Someone that works for my own company that was ready to move out of state down to Florida said they just can't afford to do it because of interest rates. They can't afford to pay that kind of interest rate any longer. The 2 and 3% was great, but 6 and change, 7%, whatever it is now, they just can't afford to do it. So I think there are still some things out there, and who knows how many more weather balloons they send our way. Oh, I mean missiles that get sent our way. This is just crazy with what's happening with other countries that we've got to be. All the uncertainty, we're not sure where to go with this yet. So I think there's enough out there that's going to cause some of this quick moves up and down along the way. And we haven't even talked about housing market and potential foreclosures, as people can't afford to pay those fees anymore. I mean, how many people have done balloon mortgages and now they went from a 2.5% or a 3% mortgage and they're going to have to refinance at 7% and they're just not going to be able to afford it.
Yeah, and I mean, I think that's where a lot of people, I guess it's kind of confusing, I guess, right now, is where people are wondering, where is it going to be the housing market that's going to like be driving the next leg lower, or is it going to be because inflation's picking back? You know, so, and I don't know if anyone or if I've heard the most like compelling, you know, bear case, I guess, for why we have to go down from here, why we would need to go down from here, because I understand the housing market concerns and whatnot, but at the end of the day, you know, as long as I would like to think the Fed is able to avoid any like 07, 08 housing market type catastrophes. Again, I would just wishful thinking, but who knows? Maybe I'm wrong, and we are going to see some catastrophic event in the housing market this year.
I don't know if it's catastrophic, but I think that it's still looming out there that there's going to be some pain from it. Because of how the housing market happened in 08, what took place there with the defaults and the way they were doing financing at 120% of the house's value and all of that wonderful stuff. We're not dealing with that anymore. The subprime stuff, we're not dealing with that right now. There's other things that are happening in the mortgage industry, but not ones like that. So will some people get hurt? Yes. But cap that along with cap that along with what's going on with savings and credit card debt. And there's a big concern there when people are saying that they're paying their mortgage with a credit card, you know, taking cash to pay the mortgage or in their HELOC to pay a mortgage. That's a problem.
Yeah. I think that makes sense. And I think, you know, it's like one of those things where it's like, doesn't have to happen exactly like it happened in 07 and 08. It can be different problems in the housing market, but definitely something people are concerned about right now. So, what about, do you mind pulling up Google's stock on a daily chart? Because I mean, Google had this thing yesterday with the AI that people freaked out about, down like 7%, down again today. To me, it just seems like a crazy overreaction, Rob. I mean, I don't know from a technical perspective what we're looking at, but from fundamentals, like Google's market cap has now been wiped out more than $100 billion in the past 2 days because their AI thing looked a little bit shaky. It's like, it's Google. It's going to be fine. Like, its AI is going to be fine, guys. I promise.
It's brand new. They just created it. Give it a break. They did it 3 days ago. I mean, okay.
And that's what AI is. AI is supposed to make mistakes, learn from the mistakes, get better, get smarter.
Right. So actually, I traded Google today. Right. I traded Google puts on the bounce off of this 100-point level, this dashed line that's in that red line. So right near 5 minutes in or so. In the second candle is when we got into it there. So do I think it's an overreaction? Without a doubt. I think they're making a huge mistake. Let me back. Not a huge mistake. The market is overreacting to it. That's all it is. I think that someone's going to turn around and go, ooh, wait, you mean Tesla's down near $100? We should buy some and watch it go up to 180, right? I think Google is the same thing. I think it's an overreaction as far as that AI. Google is still the number one search engine in the world, the number two search engine with YouTube, and to me, a great trading company. So here's the thing. I own Google long-term, right? I have shares of Google in our accounts. But I also look at Google every single day as a potential trade. And right now, I'm not investing in Google. I'm trading Google. So my opinion today was it's going down. I made the right choice today. It doesn't always happen that way, but today was the right choice. If tomorrow it bounces and we get above this 95.56, we retest and bounce, I'll take a bullish trade on it tomorrow. I'm not stuck in a position where I say it has to go up today or at least go sideways so I don't lose more money or lose any money. I look at it every day as it's a whole new opportunity. And when I find the right market and the right pattern in Google, then I'll add to some of my shares potentially.
So you're looking, I'm going to echo there.
No, you're good.
You're looking at this as an opportunity to add to your long-term Google positions?
Not today, but potentially.
Not today.
Yeah, these pullbacks are what you need. You know, there's a firework. It's called the Roman candle. Right? You got to hold your arm all the way out here, and you got to shake that Roman candle. You got to point it up in the air, right? Never do it in front of you so it doesn't backfire at you, right? Well, what does that do? That Roman candle shoots out flame. It goes up, and then it comes straight down. So the market's no different. If your stock is just going up, it's no good. I need it to move up, pull back, move up, pull back, move up, pull back. That's a healthy continuation, not what we're, when we see these huge moves up or down. That's not what we're looking for.
Wait, from a fib level, have we hit the 50% retracement on this move down?
So, well, if you look at, this is where my fibs are drawn from. My Fibonacci levels are drawn from, let's see the dates there. August 16th, is it? August 15th down to September 30th. That's the two places the fibs are drawn, right? From there. So that was 100% of the move to the downside. We made an overall climb back up. If you're looking from right here, if I just back this one up, if we look at the move we made from this swing low up here, we hit the 618. Now, that is not a surprise. There's a reason. If you look at my charts, everybody, and everyone, every line on here, the blue lines are the start and finish points of the fibs. The red lines are the standard lines, standard fib numbers. This purple one is still a standard fib number, but it is the most important level on a chart, and it's the 0.618. There is no more important number in the universe, period, the end, for anything that you contend with, because everything that relates to numbers somehow comes and works its way back to fibs. But that 618 is the most important fib level there is, right? There's nothing you can find. Music, math, art, they all have Fibonacci's in them. Mona Lisa, you can draw Fibonacci circles on there to see how the graphic was drawn, right? The picture was drawn. It's just an amazing indicator. That 618 is the most important level. So we have pulled back on this recent run, Aaron, 61.8% of the overall. Now, if we start to bounce from here, Aaron, there is a very clear understanding of where we believe it goes to. When you bounce off of the 618 or the 50 percentile, strong bounce on either one of them, you have a very high propensity to move normally 2 fib levels, a 2 standard deviation move, which takes us up here to this second red level, which is that 382, 99.27 is where we look to move from. So at 96.52, I may take some of the trade off if I get a bounce, move up my stop. If it fails, I'm out of the second half of the trade. If it continues through, 99.27 is my next resistance. I'll be out somewhere down below there, 98.5, 3/4, somewhere around there would be my target, and day is over, right? But that 2-line move happens again and again and again and again and again on fibs. It is an amazing, amazing, amazing system. When you get that bounce, that fail, it's actually, Aaron, what we're looking at, it's upside down right now, but we're looking at an upside down H pattern in here, right? So here's the move up, there's the leg, we pull down, and then if we get the bounce, and if I can get a drawing tool open here, come on, my mouse, there we go. Let me just open up a drawing tool since I don't have one loaded here today. Be nice if we had them, we use the same software. It'd be nice if they were in the back end, that we had the ability to draw. But that H pattern is, to me, the prettiest and most powerful pattern there is in the market today. So here's the upside down H. We got this here, this move here, and then we look for that there. That's an upside down H pattern, right? A regular H here, right? That's not what a Fibonacci H looks like. It looks more like this, right? This is an upside down one. So we're looking for that move up to 97.27 if we bounce off of here over the next day or two.
Okay. I like that because my perspective on this is just that it's a gross overreaction for Google. More than $100 billion in market cap wiped out in 2 days for like a silly little reason. And obviously there's some other weakness in tech. I mean, Q is about to go red on the day, so it's not just the AI thing for Google, but I mean, still, I wouldn't mind, using this as kind of like an entry point on a long position, a long-term position, I should say, for Google, just because, I mean, like, look, getting a 10% discount from 3 days ago, when I don't think much has changed fundamentally with the company. And it's my kind of thesis, my expectation that as AI develops in general, right, Google will be there. Google will be, even if OpenAI or Microsoft's a few months ahead of Google, right, Google's not going to let, AI just completely go away. I mean, you look at what Google's done with cloud computing, trying to make up in certain areas of that. So it's a massive company. I'm just not worried about its development long term.
I agree. And, for those that are holding shares in a Google or some of these stocks that have gotten, hit a little bit, and you're looking at it saying, oh, but, I bought it at 100. It's now at 92, 93. What am I supposed to do? I'd already done this, or else I would have looked to do this today. But I wrote covered calls on my Google shares in the beginning of the week. Right. So I'm all the way up here. My Google options have no value left to them. Someone paid me a premium. I was going to hold the stock anyway. they paid me a premium and the option winds up expiring. It's going to expire worthless, or it is worthless even now. I'll manage these this afternoon along with some other positions I have. But one of the things you can do is write covered calls on your stocks. Now, you've got to understand what you do. Don't just go out there and find a video and write a covered call. You really want to make sure you truly understand exactly how to do that. Don't just jump in and say, well, nope. If you don't understand this, you could have the stock actually taken away from you.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing I think with right now, when you see a stock, like you said, when you're holding some of these stocks and you see the moves, it's a lot harder to, whatever. But it's Google. It's such a big company. I'm not worried about it going down 10% in 2 days. Maybe other companies I would be, but I think the smart thing to do, I guess, right now would just be kind of waiting. And like you said, once we do start to see a little bit of a bounce, I'm okay with, missing out on like a percentage of gains there. If I wait for Google to start moving up, then I get some more confidence that, okay, now we're getting some buying activity, some bullish sentiment returning before I start, going fully long on a swing trade.
I agree 100%. You want the bounce. Don't catch the falling knife, right? Just get out of the way, let it drop. It'll hit the ground, bounce, then you pick it up.
Got it. All right. Well, Rob, what do you have any other specific names you want to talk about, or where can folks find more from you?
So tradinglikeaboss.com is the place to come and check us out, folks. I mean, that website is one of our sites, and that site has all of our free content on there, including we've got a brand new coach. His name is Sean Reed. He was teaching for Online Trading Academy. He's now teaching with us as well. And he's got a class on crushing it with volatility. He's actually put a spin on credit spreads that I've not considered before, to the point that two of my top traders in wealthbuildershq.com attended one of his live training sessions that we're doing right now and said he blew me away with how he set up his choices of volatility instead of theta. He's looking at Vega, which is an indicator, a Greek, instead of using theta to help make his decision, and buying monthly options and out of the position normally within 2 to 5 days. Or selling, I should say. Selling, rather. He's doing credit spreads. But come check us out over here. You get all of our free content is here. Every free training we do, everything we have, this is all free. All right? Every bit of it. So that's where
you go. Tradinglikeaboss.com. We've got the link in the chat. Go check it out for some more from Wealth Builders HQ.
I appreciate it.
All right, Rob. Well, I'll let you go. We'll be back next week. Normal time. Any fun plans this weekend? Do anything for the Super Bowl?
We're going to watch only because my wife got really good numbers this year, finally, in her pool at work.
For the squares?
Yeah, she got good numbers. She got a 4 and a 7. She got a 3 and a 0. So she's got some really good numbers this year in the pool.
Awesome.
But other than that, we're going to watch a little bit of it, but nothing crazy for it. We've got one couple coming over. Other than that, we're just chilling.
Awesome. Well, have fun, man. We'll chat next Thursday. Good luck with any trades you got open.
You as well. I appreciate it. Take care, everybody. Thanks.
Of course. All right, y'all. That was Robert Roy, tradinglikeaboss.com. Go check it out for some more from Wealth Builders HQ. Yeah, I mean, guys, we'll be back tomorrow. Tomorrow I will be spending, by the way, a quick 20, probably 15 minutes on a Super Bowl preview, talk about some different bet ideas, talking about different prop bet ideas. So there might be, we'll do a couple things on the show tomorrow. We'll also do some trivia because we haven't done that in a while. We'll make it like sports business themed trivia, stuff like, what's the most valuable sports franchise in the world? Hint, I think it's Dallas Cowboys. But that won't be on the quiz because I just gave you the answer on trivia tomorrow, but we will do that. I'll also be doing a little bit of Super Bowl preview, some betting stuff. So I know there will be some people that are like, what the hell, get back to stocks. But tomorrow's Friday, so I assume the market will be a little bit more quiet. Unless there's some crazy stuff going on in the market, then obviously we'll put the sports stuff on the back burner and just be talking about the market stuff. But the plan is to spend at least a few minutes talking about the Super Bowl tomorrow, as well as doing some trivia. And if you're upset by that tomorrow, I'm sorry. But again, most of the show will still be stocks and whatnot. But we're going to wrap up a few minutes early today. Stock market movers. There will be no stock market movers today. So we'll be back with Cannabis Insider today. Let me go ahead and pull up the schedule. So we'll be back at that at 4 p.m. And then other than that, guys, just stay green. I'll see you tomorrow. Till then, chillax, Hope y'all make some money. Love y'all.